Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
All right, welcome in to Woodward Nights, baby, on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys all tuning in here. What is it, a Tuesday night, man?
Victory
Tuesday, man.
Taco Tuesday.
For lunch today, I did have some tacos, by the way.
Did you? With LeBron?
Yes, it was LeBron.
Let's go.
I FaceTimed him. It was just me, him, and Savannah.
Booner moving up in the world.
Is Bron on the path?
Bron called me. That was how we interacted. Was he called me. He said, "I'm on the Booner path," and I was like, "Hey, welcome aboard, my man."
Dude is playing like he's 25 years old. That's
still
a great Path member.
He's still in his prime.
Dare I say the Pathfinder?
No, that's me. All right, welcome in. Appreciate you guys all locking in. Hit the like button as you guys come in. Tell a friend about the show. We have a huge show for you guys. Last night,
like colossal.
When we got off the show, we found out who the Detroit Lions were playing, so we're going to go into that a little bit. We have a lot of different segments, actually. I'm excited. Some Jared Goff stuff. Joey Harrington was on the heavyweights.
It's a good interview.
A great interview. Joey,
Where he been at?
He actually said it, too. He was like, he just chills. I don't think he does much.
Wow.
Like, they asked him, like, hey, do you have anything you want to shout out? Any, like, things that you're doing? Like, he's like, nah, I don't do anything. So, shout out Joey Harrington, man. What a legend, huh?
Number 3 overall pick in 2002, 2003.
Didn't do much, but growing up, that was a household name was Joey Harrington.
Yeah, man.
And he had a great interview today on the heavyweights. We have some stuff on that. We're going to talk about some Jared Goff conversations. We're going to go into Super Bowl stuff. Stephen A. Smith had some things about the Detroit Lions. So we've got a lot to go. My name's Booner, as always. Matt Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter. KG.
What up?
How we feeling today, KG?
Hey, man, I'm chilling, feeling good, feeling the vibes. Got a little extra sleep this morning, so I'm feeling refreshed, ready to put on a good show for the people.
Is that a car on your chest?
No, it's Car-Ray. It's like a brand. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I thought maybe like Carhartt.
Nah. I thought maybe car like Lloyd.
Okay.
See what I'm doing?
Cars like Lightning McQueen. Nick in the sound booth as always. How we doing today, Nick?
Boys. I'm feeling great. Life has never been better. As a Detroit football fan, life is good right now. I'm finally feeling back to myself a little bit. It took a lot out of me Sunday night. We partied super hard. It was the first playoff win in 33 years, was it?
It's 32, I think.
32. Insane.
With that, though, I was actually thinking about this today. It's like, now, like, the Booner path, I tell the people all the time, like, this is like a normal thing now going forward. We'll never, as much as like we're going to start getting used to playoff wins and stuff, what happened on Sunday and like what went down, that will never happen again in our lifetimes. Never. Like, it may, like, if it did, that would be crazy. But the fact, though, that we waited 32 years. Some of us weren't even alive. I wasn't even alive. Not once in my lifetime was there a home playoff game and was there a playoff win for the Detroit Lions. That could never happen again in our lifetime. The hype of the game, everything around it, I'm sure you can't confirm or deny, but I'm sure you said there may or may not have been cameras around the facility throughout the week. I'm sure they did 30 for 30 and ESPN was around there. That's just the Booner guess. I haven't heard anything, but that's my guess. I'm guessing that there was 30 for 30 cameras. I'm guessing every single national outlet was doing some type of documentary throughout the week, because this is like what happened on Sunday, fellas. That will never happen again. Like, this week's game is huge, yes, because the Lions fans have been waiting so long for a run, a Super Bowl run. So this is going to be huge no matter what. But just that Sunday, Broder, the meaning behind the stories that I've been reading have been insane.
Everything. And as much as Goff wants to defer the attention away from him, all the whole storyline with Goff and Stafford and the Rams and the Lions, it all factored into how ROWDIE, that facility was, Ford Field. It was special.
What was that?
ROWDIE, that's the way we spell rowdy.
Okay.
That's all jock jams.
Never heard.
You Utes. It all factored in.
Utah?
That's from my cousin Vinny. It all factored in to the energy in Ford Field. And it's just, how cool is it that we get to go do it one more time?
Yeah, maybe even two.
Possibly.
So, like, I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. I had that thought today, and when we started the show, and Nick was like, it was electric. I was like, we might never have like that level. Like, we're gonna have some big time playoff games going forward, Super Bowls, NFC We're gonna have all of that. But that one meeting, like with the Rams, the Lions, the staff, everything that just led up 32 years, unbelievable.
The perfect way to start this run. I think we all believe that the Lions are about to go on a run. Who knows how many championships it turns into, but they're going to be competitive for the next 5 to 10 years. As long as Penei Sewell, as long as this core is together, they will be competitive in the NFL.
You know who they need to keep? I have a video. KG, did you have that video of the King pulling out of Ford Field?
Yeah, let me get it up.
While he does that, shout out to Budget Jim. Welcome to the Woodward crew. Member!
Shout out.
Let's go, Budget Jim.
This success, and a lot of people, we have a Jared Goff segment later today. If he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL and if he's a top 5 in the NFC, we're going to break that down a little bit. This is a guy that you need to stay in Detroit going forward. And I have some things I want to talk about later in the show. What I saw today, this video that came out and kind of started getting viral a little bit, crazy. The fans love him now. Like, it is like fully, like, imagine, you remember how much the fans were behind Matthew Stafford and he just kept losing? Now the fans are behind Jared Goff and he's winning. Like, that kind of build behind. Check this video out here of Jared Goff leaving Ford Field yesterday.
Let's go! Let's go, Jared! Let's go, Jared! You're the king of Detroit, baby! You're the king of Detroit, baby! Let's go, Jared!
Fellas.
They love the man.
He's the king of Detroit, baby!
He needs some more security.
Oh, my gosh. I've been around there that time, like that area after a game, just leaving, and I just like ran into some players just because like they just have the one path out.
Yeah.
They have nowhere to go. But
What do they have out?
one path, Booner path out. They are all on the Booner path when they leave Ford Field.
No, and actually, go back and watch the Heavyweights interview with Joey Harrington. He sort of validates in a little different way the success that the Lions can have with a quarterback like Jared Goff. It was a really good interview. Go check it out. I'll let Joey Harrington.
I've got a clip actually later when we do the Jared Goff conversation. I have a quote that I want to talk about, and I also have a clip that I want to play for that. I think, what time are we doing that at, Broder? We are doing Jared Goff at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, second hour of the show. Make sure you guys stick around. Other thing too, before we kind of get this ball rolling, want to talk this NFL coaching situation, the whole carousel. And I know this gets you pumped up because I think the last couple of days I've texted you. I said, Broder, send me some topics. One of the topics every time I think is like, dude, let's talk this coaching.
There's so many openings and there's so many 10 coaches with interesting personalities and fits. It's a puzzle. That's what makes this fun for me.
It is, and it's our own guys are in on it.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson, AG.
3 of them.
3.
One that resides in Ann Arbor.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, Jim Harbaugh, too, which I do have a couple things. I pulled up a tweet. I did a tweet. We could start with the Jim Harbaugh thing. Their tweet came out today in regards to Jim Harbaugh. And KG, if you, whenever, just throw it up whenever while we're talking.
All right.
This is my former professor, John Bacon, or is this Dan Wetzel?
This one actually was just, I think, like ML Football, the tweet I got. But it's probably from one of them. But it just can't. They basically came out and said, hey.
Football's been slandering the
Or
Lions.
it's Dove. It's Dove. Dove Kleiman. I apologize. It was the first one that popped up for me. But there's the reports here, and it is per Dan Wetzel from him. And it said there's 2 things that he's looking for in a contract here to stay at Michigan. 1, 6 years, $11.5 million guaranteed per year, which is the highest in college football. He'll be the highest paid football coach in college. And then secondly, immunity from termination for any fightings for multiple current NCAA investigations. That second one real quick, fellas. And, Broder, actually, I want to ask you, because you've been pretty locked into this investigation stuff.
Locked and loaded.
Saw a lot of comments on this, and a lot of people are saying, hey, Jim, and you know I'm a Michigan man, but all the comments I'm seeing is, hey, Jim, if you want that in your contract, like, did you actually cheat then? Like, what are you worried about?
Why would someone innocent want that in his contract?
That's all I keep seeing. So I want to go to you on this one and see where, like, hey, where's the kind of middle.
My recollection of the scenario is that the NCAA didn't connect Jim Harbaugh to anything Connor Stallions related, and out of nowhere, the Big Ten, Tony Petitti, decided to come in the middle of the season and suspend him. So there has been no innocent or guilty, and he's already been suspended for 3 games, self-imposed for another 3. So why? He obviously doesn't trust the NCAA or the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Why not just include that? It's not an admission of guilt. Of course, it's probably not normally in contracts, but this is a very abnormal, unique situation. And if I'm going to be a part of a conference, I don't claim them as the conference anymore. But if I, as Jim Harbaugh, am going to be a part of the Big Ten Conference, which Michigan's a part of, and this could just happen out of nowhere, of course I'm going to put that in. Otherwise, I'm going to go take probably $10 million more a year in the NFL.
I agree. I'm 100%. I'm lockstep with you.
And to one of those points, Nick Saban's gone now. Think of the face of college football. You want that backing, and that backing is Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. He is the face of football right now in college.
As soon as Nick Saban retired, the first thing I said was Jim Harbaugh can be that guy now in college football.
Yeah.
Like, who else is there?
So I don't think he's going to leave.
Yeah, I hope he stays. I hope they figure that out.
But if he does, where does he go, Booner? First instinct.
Chargers.
That's a popular opinion.
And then I think Bill Belichick, I think what he's doing right now, I think he's waiting to see what opens up, if it's Dallas or Philly, and I think he ends up in either one.
Bill Belichick in Dallas or Philly. Wow.
And then if he doesn't end up in one of those, like those don't open up, they keep Mike McCarthy, they keep Nick Sirianni, which I think they should keep Sirianni.
They're not
fire McCarthy. But if they keep one of those, if they keep both of them, he's just going to end up in Atlanta.
Is Belichick
That's what it's going to come down to.
Having interviewed in Atlanta, does that seem odd?
No. It's
like, it seems like a weird fit.
It's a weird fit. It's a weird fit because it's the Atlanta Falcons, and we really haven't seen them do much recently.
And they beat them in the Super Bowl.
And they beat them. But at the end of the day, they do have a good young core. They do have, like, players.
So,
Bill, and that's something. Like, they almost won the division this year.
They had to get a quarterback.
They trade for Justin Fields, they're in. That's just my opinion.
Would you give up 8 for Fields right now on spot? I've seen that thrown around.
If I were the Falcons, yeah.
I think you
would
do
it,
you
but
get a
then you
quarterback.
have to pay him.
Do it. And you have Belichick coming in. You're in a win now mode if you hire Bill Belichick. You're in a win now mode. You hire Bill Belichick, you're there to win. Yeah. So you have to go get a quarterback.
And honestly, I don't know if I'm doing it if Bill Belichick is the coach. We've never seen him with a mobile quarterback and that kind of offense. I'd more want a Ben Johnson or a Sirianni. And I'm just spitballing here. Dare I say even a Jim Harbaugh? You got Bijan, Algier. I think Harbaugh is going to Washington if he ends up in the NFL. I think he's going to the Commanders.
I don't know.
With
Bill
that number
can,
2 pick?
I don't think he goes to the Commanders, dude.
Why?
I just don't.
Just tell me why then.
Don't see it lining up.
Tell me why it doesn't line up, because I think it lines up pretty damn perfect. That wouldn't
be a bad spot.
I'll tell you why, but you seem pretty confident about that.
That seems like the Commanders' new ownership. That's a place where, like, they want a young coach to build something, and wherever Bill goes, it has to be kind of built.
Who's been known for building things from the bottom up?
They really don't have. Yeah, but Bill's like he's got 3-4 years left.
No, not Bill. Jim Harbaugh.
Jim? Oh, you're saying Jim too?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Bill.
Oh, I thought you talking Bill too.
Yeah, we were talking Bill.
I know. I think Bill to Washington. Everything you just said about Bill, I agree with.
Bill has to go somewhere where it's like we can win.
Yeah. Commanders aren't there yet, but they're not that far away. They got pieces. I don't know if Jim Harbaugh would want Sam Howell or use that number 2 pick to a guy he recruited heavily to Michigan, Drake May. Washington just happens to be down the road from Baltimore, which Jim's connected to a little bit. There's a guy named John Harbaugh who coaches the Ravens. You know the Harbaughs. They all want to be close to each other. His parents could just drive right in between, the Maryland area, Washington, D.C., Baltimore. You know what I'm saying?
Broder, what is the word I'm looking for here? Broder conspiracies, man.
Do you have the X-Files?
No,
but like that's part of the reason I do kind of think it's a fit. He gets to put his stamp on it. It is a new ownership group. Magic Johnson.
I mean, Jim is a little younger too. Like he's not as old as Bill Belichick. He is someone to where he could go in there and build a little bit.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. I think he ends up staying over Washington though. I would be shocked.
I
think it's like L.A. or.
See, the Chargers doesn't.
They would be so
do it for me.
If they get a good coach, they would be very good, dude. If they get a good coach, they're going to be a good football team.
Can you guarantee that? Like they have no cap space. They're a mess.
But once you fix that, you have a quarterback. Chargers have the most.
When has Herbert proven?
Oh, you know what we're leaving out actually though?
Keep trying to
you know
tell
what we're
people.
leaving out?
Right?
I keep trying to tell people.
You know what we're leaving out?
Seattle.
You know who gets Seattle's job?
Ben Johnson.
Vrabes. Mike Vrabel.
Ooh,
you think so?
Perfect spot for him. Vrabel should have never been fired in Tennessee.
So
first of
many
all.
names.
It was never Vrabel's fault that what was going on.
No.
They had nothing.
He's a great coach.
They started cutting every player. They traded A.J. Brown. They got rid of everyone in Tennessee, and then they fired him. He's going to be. He should go to Seattle. Like they should go get Vrabel. I think that. Before we do go to break, we are at break right now. Actually,
all right.
Let's. Do you want to do real? Wow, let's just go to break. After you just did that hand signal.
What?
Let's go to break. I was going to do the Kirby Joseph talk, but that did not.
Oh, breaking kneecaps?
Yeah, that wasn't it. Yep, that wasn't it.
Oh.
Nick, tell us about Big Boy. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Kirby Joseph, and we are going to talk Detroit Lions Super Bowl favorites.
Whew.
Yes, sir. Big Boy. Wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort chicken bowl. How about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The classic lumberjack or Santa Fe garden. Also, new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with the new gingerbread shake for dessert. And stop by your local Big Boy today.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Rest in peace to the same old Lions. Big thanks to Sheila Hamp, Dane Campbell, Brad Holmes for putting them to rest. And guess what else has found the grave? The same old rock, paper, scissors. What? Jack Labrador. Jack Labrador has revolutionized that old tired game with 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. I recommend you guys head to jacklabrador.gg now and find out why. Once you go Jack, like Labrador, you never go back.
Real interesting, Broder. Welcome back, though, Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you guys can, as you come in, hit that like button for us. Make sure you guys do that. I'm going to try and... I saw a comment earlier. I can't remember who it was. Someone said Booner host night show and chat or something like that. I didn't understand the comment completely. I think maybe he was saying interact with the chat more. So I'm going to try. Let me try and get in a little Neil rule bag here and try to host and do a little.
And I try while you're talking. Comments. I try to at least type and hey, we're still.
I try my best when I'm hosting. I'm doing this. I've got notes. I've got the plan. It's like the game plan. I'm Jared Goff over here, just like locked into the game plan.
This is show 87.
87.
Yeah. How about at show 100?
87 on the Lions?
Hold us a little more accountable. Show 100.
Who's at 87 on the Lions?
Sammy
Laporta.
Sammy Laporta. Let's
for
go,
you,
baby.
Sammy.
This is the Sam Laporta show. Hit that like button, though. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're doing this. We're getting into this Detroit Lions Super Bowl talk. We've been talking about it a lot. Obviously, on this show, with me on the show, we've talked a lot about the Super Bowl and the chances and the paths and everything to do with this to get to the Super Bowl and go and win it.
Facts.
One thing that we haven't seen much of is national media putting out there, hey, the Lions are actually Super Bowl contenders. That's something we have not seen. We've seen Dan Orlovsky. We've seen all these people actually talk about the Lions and give them props. They did backpedal, but throughout the year they've given them props, but you've never actually heard the word like Detroit Lions Super Bowl contenders from the national media. Someone today, one of the biggest sports probably media guy in the business right now, put the Detroit Lions in his top 5 for national contender or for Super Bowl contenders. And there it is right there. You see Stephen A. Smith. He had the Chiefs at 5. The Detroit Lions, fellas, at 4. Bills, 49ers, Ravens. I think this is a great list. This right here, though, and I'm being dead serious, like the Chiefs always have a chance. This shows right here the Lions have a legit shot to go win the Super Bowl. Like this
100%.
Like there's people who like Jeff on the morning show today was like, I don't know if they can do it this year. Like it's just like that's the kind of like, hey, if they do it, I could say I did kind of give it a little credit, and then if they don't do it, be like, oh, we'll see.
Right.
Like it's either like they do it or they don't. Like what's it? They're gonna do it. They're gonna have a chance to go and do it. That's exactly what that is right there. Is they're in the names with the Kansas City Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, and the 49ers. Guess who's off that list now?
The Bucs,
the Cowboys, the Eagles, all those teams that were ahead of the Lions all year, Broder, they're all on there now.
Yes. And how often?
Or they're off there now.
How often were we laughed at in this network for even bringing up the word Super Bowl?
Even saying the word Super Bowl on a show. Oh, Booner! Oh, the path to the Super Bowl. Oh, my gosh.
Slappy.
You're a
slappy, Booner. Oh, no. Maybe Booner knows ball. Who knows? Maybe I know what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Maybe there's a reason I have this job. Oh, my gosh.
Have
Booner.
mercy.
Oh, my gosh, Booner. You know football? Jeez, bro.
Remember, what did Freddie Felt call in the other day and say? R.I.P. to the Slappies.
Slappies.
You know, you just got it right, Boone.
There's been a lot of things, too, that I've said and I've been clowned about. And no, guess what? Same with you, brother Jared Goff. And guess what? He just won you a playoff game.
Yes.
But no, I do think, like, this is I think it's fair, guys. And if you look at the Super Bowl odds, I actually, last night on my drive home, during the Bucs game, I put a bet in. The Detroit Lions to win the Super Bowl at plus 900. I locked my final future bet of the year, and I already had it. Put another one here, plus 900. KJ, can you throw just the NFC odds up? I put the NFC ones in there.
I got you.
With all of this, I wanted to start showing you guys like the odds of stuff to kind of get a feel where we're at. And Broder, I want your reaction on this NFC one. So this one's a Super Bowl here. So you guys see plus 900. Look who's below them too, the Packers. So out of these 5 teams, the Detroit Lions are the worst out of the 5 teams that were on Stephen A's list.
And and I'm all Lions all day, but is this one of those times that's a better you start thinking about? You say sprinkle a little bit on the Packers and the Bucs, who aren't even on that list.
I don't think they have a chance.
But one game,
they
have a very hard. It's a difficult path. But one game and they're in the NFC Championship.
So that's true.
Like there are only 3 games left, and that's plus 3,000. So that's if you put $10 down, you get 300.
Yes. But like if you're talking like to get value, if you're really looking at value, that 5th team on the board there, the Detroit Lions, at plus 900, 9-1.
Yeah, sorry, I put the wrong one up.
No, you're good. But the plus 900 one, guys, like that's why I took it again last night. It's gonna after they win Sunday. Guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna go to like plus 400 to win the Super Bowl, or plus 300 to win the Super Bowl. So it's gonna move quick. Bro, I want your reaction on this though. The NFC.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions. It is the 49ers minus 180, and the Detroit Lions plus 310, and there's a big gap after that.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe this isn't the best content, but it looks pretty accurate. It is 1st seed, 3rd seed, then it drops down to actually the Packers are over the Bucs, which doesn't make sense. That means they have more confidence in the Lions beating the Bucs. And the big gap is basically the Vegas saying
I look at it.
We think there's a very poor chance that the Packers or the Bucs make up that gap, beat one of the teams, and then win the NFC. Yeah, I could see that. Both those 2 teams get a home game to get to the NFC Championship. Yeah,
that's a nice path.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions are as in it as anybody.
They are.
The key is this week off for the extra week off for the Niners. There was value in that Brad Allen call, allowing the Niners to rest Trent Richardson, rest some of their key players. But now they're 2 weeks off.
My question is that those guys rested for 2 weeks.
I expect them, as the veterans they are, to come out and be fine. But
rusty.
There is a chance that they come out rusty in the playoffs. What if they have one bad quarter? Whoever's playing them, those Packers can score in bunches. They can score a lot of points. We know what the Lions can do. 21 points. First 3 drives of the game against the Rams, 75-yard touchdowns.
Yeah, that's the thing with this 49ers game. A lot of people are like, oh, the 49ers are going to pull away. Packers have been playing really good football.
Really good football.
They've played, I think they've won like 7 of their last 9 games. Obviously scored 48 versus the Cowboys, 33 versus the Vikings,
road.
33 versus the Panthers. Yeah, on the road. They've scored 27 versus the Chiefs. They put 29 up on the Lions. Like, they have been playing very well. If a team's rusty and gets behind this Packers team, they're not coming back. This Packers offense is rolling right now, so that's like a.
And their defense is playing well. Like, we know their defense played and I haven't followed them that closely all season, but one of their best games had to come against the Lions. Rashawn Gary was in the backfield all day. They have pieces, especially with Jair Alexander healthy. As much as a douchebag he is, he's talented, and they got pieces. So you don't count them out. They've just been inconsistent all year, but they're the youngest team in the NFL, and they're hot.
Can I throw something out there real quick, guys? Again, I look so pale on this. I do not know what's going on with me. I think I need to go like tan.
I think you're just pale, Broder.
Yeah, I need to go tan. I need to figure something out here. I need to get in the sun a little bit. Jeez, Booner. But I think it's just the camera, to be honest.
Well, that's what you could say.
I think it's the camera.
That's a good excuse.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing.
You got to wait about 5.5 months for some sunshine.
I know.
Yeah.
But real quick, I want to say this. So the Lions right now, plus 310 to win the NFC. About a week ago, I got a ticket. I put money down. I told the people when I did it, I think it was like a week ago, plus 750 for the Detroit Lions to win the NFC a week ago. Put that in there.
It's looking good.
Huge. Plus 750. So basically what happened, the Lions win this week. I have Detroit Lions money line next week at plus 750.
Wow.
Great value.
That's great value, right?
And I gave it out to the people.
Is that better?
I put the bet on.
Is that better value than Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round?
It's close. I don't know.
Like both a lot of
If
value.
I got it at like 19 to 1, maybe like 20 to 1, then yeah, but I didn't.
By the way, I've seen some nicknames floating around social about Amon-Ra St. Brown. One of my favorites, Amon-Ra First Down.
That's a good one.
Yeah, all he does is get first downs.
There's only one nickname for him, though.
Sun God.
The Sun
Yeah, the
God,
Sun
baby.
God,
Are you guys putting, and this is actually a serious question here now. Like, let's lock in, fellas. Trust circle here. The whole chat, this is a trust circle.
Safe space.
Safe space.
What are those circular things in the fields where the aliens drop?
Corn circles? I don't know.
Crop circles. This is our crop circle.
Right.
This is what I want to
Crop
pose
dust,
to you
baby.
people real quick and see how the confidence level. The Booner Path, this again, as the leader of the Booner Path, this is what we have to do. We have to talk about this. Detroit Lions might have to beat the 49ers and the Ravens to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That, as much as like we are very confident they can go win the Super Bowl, that's a tough path.
Hell yeah, it's a tough path.
That's the Booner Path. That's the toughest Booner Path, is going through the 49ers and the Ravens in the Super Bowl. It could be a problem.
They don't call it super for nothing.
All right. Nobody said it would be easy.
Yeah, it's not gonna be easy.
But like you might have to put the top 2 teams in the NFL that have been like, it's been those two, gap everyone else all year long, and you might have to go through both of them to have a chance at the Lombardi Trophy.
And you know what? If Detroit does it, if the Lions pull that off, there is not one single thing anybody can say about them earning that Super Bowl. So I'll take it.
I see Lorena here in the chat said, Booner, don't lose faith. Now, I am not losing faith. Again, as a leader, as like when you like are on a team or something, the leader always has to say, hey, there's this, there's that. This is what we have to game plan, execution, all of that. I am trying to execute for the people. We have to look at all the angles if we want to execute. If we just, all of us are just all happy and what is it? What is the saying? Like happy and
Slappy.
sunshine and slappy,
Rainbows
whatever.
and sunshine, turtles,
If
unicorns.
we're that all the time, guess what? You're going to get blindsided. We're going to get blindsided, and it's going to be, hey, we have to beat the 49ers. And then you're going to get blindsided again. It's, hey, you have to beat the Ravens. And everyone's going to be like, gee, this is tough, boys.
Yeah. You'll be
This is
blindsided
tough.
again. You're going to wind up at Ole Miss. Michael Orr?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Hey.
No, but you're
Let
right.
him
This is our film review day. This is our walkthrough day, the day off. We got to build the game plan. You're just laying it out for everyone. This is what the path could look like. These are our options to get there. How cool would it be? Of course, the Ravens are favored, but how cool would it be to start the season with the Chiefs and end the season with the Chiefs?
I don't think it'll happen.
I would love
I'm not
to
saying
see
it.
it.
Yeah, I don't think
That would be a great matchup, though. That would be unbelievable. What a
Wow,
storyline, right? Like,
Yeah.
but I don't think it'll happen. I am like,
Neither does Vegas, but it just might.
I think it gives you that much more like credibility, though. Like if they do beat the 49ers and then they go and beat the Ravens, the 2 best teams in football, and like no one can say like, hey, you had an easy path or anything. Like, no, we went out there and we were the best football team this year.
Yeah, to your point, Booner, this Ravens team has struggled in the playoffs in the past. So we have yet to see it from Lamar Jackson get to that Super Bowl game, which he hasn't done yet. So he still has to win 2 big ones. Watch out for CJ Stroud. He maybe on upset alert.
CJ Stroud is a stud. How about this though? So, and this is, I got to give credit to David Witt. We were going back and forth on Twitter. We were communicating back and forth on Twitter. So Jared Goff in this Jared Goff's the first overall pick back in 2016. Yep. Just beat Matthew Stafford, another number 1 overall pick. now going up against Baker Mayfield, a number 1 overall pick in the Tampa Bay Bucks. Of course, the Packers might win, but hypothetically, the 49ers win that game. It's a number 1 pick going up against Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft.
No matter what.
No matter what. How crazy is that? Like that path, kind of interesting, kind of fun.
That is. Lorena
Doesn't
said
sound like it is.
Trying to read this comment here.
That'd be wild.
You got 13 shows.
Concentrate.
Concentrate. I thought it said concrete, and I was like, I thought it said concrete, and I was like, what does that have to do with the Booner path? I guess a concrete path.
On the Bucks.
We are going to focus on the Bucks a lot this week.
Oh yeah, we're actually have a Bucks segment coming up. I think actually. Not when we come back, but around. Oh yeah, actually, right when we come back, we're talking Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're reacting to it. We're talking Tampa Bay Bucks when we come back. Make sure you guys stay around. So hit that like button, bro. To tell us.
I will.
About the man, Mark White.
Mark White Real Estate. If you're dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch, Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. I said $5,000. So give Mark White and Associates a call today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports for the latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Hoodies, tees, the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com and click shop.
Shop. All right, welcome back. Make sure you guys go shop too, by the way. I'm working on getting the Booner Path stuff on there.
Shop till you drop.
I'm working on it. Hopefully we can get some Booner Path stuff soon. Make sure you guys hit that like button as well. Everyone right now hit that like button. We've got a lot of people in here. Welcome in. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner. Matthew Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter. KG and Nick in the booth there, man. Holding it down every single night. Let's talk about it, fellas. We got to see who our matchup was last night. During the show, actually, the Bucks were playing. Fellas, that was...
What an ass whooping.
Oh my gosh, I was kind of shocked. I didn't think it was gonna. I thought it was gonna be a little closer than it was, and it was close for a little bit. When we got off the show, it was about a one or two possession game. Eagles were staying in it, and then just out of nowhere in the second half, I think they outscored them like 16-0 in the second half and dominated them. So, I to be honest, I think a lot of people right now are kind of overlooking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Definitely.
If I'm just throwing it out there, and I know Spenny on the heaviest said like it's easy, it's a cakewalk, like we're gonna dominate them. I heard someone else today on another radio station say that they felt like it was gonna be a blowout.
You can't be thinking like that.
You cannot. And yes, last weekend there were a lot of blowouts even last night versus the Eagles. And guess who blew that team out? the team you're about to play. So, like, this is the playoffs, fellas. Like, even if you think it's going to be a blowout, this game could be close, and it could be just like this Rams game. I thought they were going to win by over a touchdown versus the Rams, and they ended up being a 1-point game, and you had to get a stop down the end and get the ball back. I think there's take everyone right now, if you're listening, take a step back. We're in the playoffs. This isn't a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team of week 4 or 5 whenever we played them. Yeah. This is a team that's won 6 or 7 of their last 8 games. They're playing very good. And I know the Rams were playing really good. This Bucs team just beat the Eagles. And I know the Eagles were in a bad spot.
They quit.
But they dominated them, man.
They did quit.
They went out there, and they did quit, yeah. But that offense went out there, Baker, and those receivers dominated. They have dudes on the back end on defense. They have the pieces to go out there and compete. And if you give a team in the playoffs a little bit of a chance, they're in the playoffs for a reason. They'll take that and they'll run with it. And that's what cannot happen on Sunday.
The Detroit Lions are the better team, and they are playing at home. But that doesn't mean it's going to be a cakewalk. Like it's the playoffs. The Bucs are playing well, and like I said a couple shows ago, they're built for a playoff run. I know their season record isn't as good as the 49ers or the Ravens, but when you have an offensive line like they do, a very good offensive line led by Tristan Wirfs, you have a very good defensive line with Vita Vea right there in the middle, putting pressure up the middle and stopping the run. You got athletic linebackers like the Ravens, who caused a lot of problems. The Bucs didn't cause as many blitzing problems, although Todd Bowles likes to blitz. They didn't cause a lot of blitzing problems on Jared Goff in their first meeting, but what they did, they made it uncomfortable for Sam Laporta. And even Amon St. Brown had a big game, not as much over the middle, but they're talented. And then Antoine Winfield there in the secondary.
Hey, I want to read this comment real quick. And then the Woodward Sports chat, T Stay Cold said the Lions are not overlooking. That's the one thing I'm very confident. I think it's more so us talking to the fans and like the whole fan base and everyone, other people on the radio. Like it's the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell. I can guarantee you what Dan Campbell, and he has a press conference tomorrow. I'm sure this is going to be asked as well. They are not overlooking this football team. They're taking this very, very serious. That's why I think as well is I have so much confidence in Dan one day bringing a Super Bowl to Detroit is because he is just next game, this game only. We're not looking ahead. It's next game, next game, next game. Win each snap, win each game. Worry about that. I don't think they're overlooking at all. I really don't think the Lions
Look
are.
what Jeff Olson said, our resident Bucs fan. Bucs have 9 starters from that Super Bowl defense still.
We talked about that during the when we played them earlier this year. That was something that me and you actually spoke about was they have dudes that are back from a Super Bowl winning roster on that defense.
Yeah.
They have guys. Antoine Winfield yesterday, if you didn't watch his post-game interview, he literally said, we are on a revenge tour of every team that beat us in the playoffs. And guess what? The Eagles beat them in the regular season, the Lions beat them, and the 49ers beat them.
Oh, jeez.
Every single team they have a chance to play, they all lost to them in the season, and they turned things around halfway through the year. They turned things around, and they're legit on a revenge tour. The only difference, though, fellas, that I want to point out with this game, early look ahead, a little breakdown of the game. KG, can you throw the injury report up from that game?
Yep, yes. I got you.
Because this is a big thing. Lions won, I think it was 20-6, 23-6, whatever it was.
20-6.
Nick, you were in attendance. But look at this, guys. This was the injury report that week when they played them. Brian Branch, out. Jahmyr Gibbs, out. Jonah Jackson, out. Zonovan Knight, when he was playing, out. James Mitchell, out. No Emmanuel Mosley, no Josh Pascal. Sam Laporta was questionable, had a calf injury. C.J. Gardner-Johnson wasn't even playing. David Montgomery got hurt in the second quarter.
Did, yep.
Craig Reynolds was your leading rusher, 10 rushes for 15 yards.
You had literally Craig the whole game. Not even Zonovan Knight. He was out. Your fourth guy, he was out at the time. You had one running back. It was Craig Reynolds. You didn't have C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You didn't have Jahmyr Gibbs.
Iffy.
You didn't have Ife Melifonwu. You didn't have Brian Branch.
You didn't have Kendall Vildor. Like, you didn't have any. Khalil Dorsey wasn't playing on the defense. Jalen Reeves-Maben wasn't playing linebacker.
So this is a completely different Detroit Lions team, I think.
Yeah.
And you beat them 20-6 at home. Now, I think that's where people are starting to get confident. Like, hey, we can dominate them because of this. You still have to take these guys seriously.
Yeah,
man. This is a playoff team.
As different as Detroit's team is, maybe it's not the same injury situation, but the Bucs are a different team psychologically, emotionally, mentally. They're ready to go.
And Deja here in the chat. Shout out Woodward Sports chat.
Deja?
Is James I think that's how you pronounce it. Deja.
Oh, I haven't seen. Just continue.
Is James Houston coming back? And I believe in my brain, I truly believe James Houston's playing this Sunday.
We'll know in 2 days at the latest.
His 21-day IR window is up. He's got to either get put back on the roster or he has to get cut, and you don't have him. He's gone. He's going to get put back on the roster this week. It just depends on – he's been practicing for 3 weeks now. Like, he's been on the field practicing. So there's no way I can't see him not playing on Sunday and getting snaps.
The thing about the Bucs, to me, similar to the Lions, like they're a gritty team. They're a team that was picked. I thought they were going to be one of the bottom 3 teams in the entire NFL. Remember in training camp, there were clips of Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield not being able to hit the receivers. Braylon went to the Jets training camp for Hard Knocks, and they were playing the Bucs, so he got to link up. I think it was Mike Evans, and basically, like without saying the words, he was like, get me out of here. Like, I don't know what's happening. It was a mess.
Do you guys remember about when the trade deadline was approaching? Do you remember what the conversation was? Get Mike Evans to Detroit.
Because they're going to sell because they're doing so bad.
Hey, give him a 3rd or 4th round pick. We'll take Mike Evans and we'll get him off your back and we'll take him for a rental or we'll sign him. Like, that was a legit conversation. I remember on socials, like we were that was getting pushed out there was Mike Evans to Detroit. And there was conversations about like rumors saying that they were having the conversations, and now you're playing that, like, things change quick.
And by the way, I made the comment to prove the point about the pieces missing about Craig Reynolds' 10 rushes for 15 yards being the leading rusher. But you remember, it's arguably, I can't believe I didn't think of this when we were talking about moments of the year, but remember Craig Reynolds' block on Amon-Ra St. Brown's catch over the middle?
Bang!
That was probably the block of the year in the NFL.
Easily one of the best moments of the year. Got to shout out Craig Reynolds for that.
And another one of the best moments on the year was also in this game when J-Mo returned early and Jared Goff was able to hit him deep. And everybody has seen the Dan Miller call in the press box from it, and it was just incredible in the booth. And that was the biggest play of this game. The score was 10-6 late in the 3rd quarter before that J-Mo bomb that kind of opened up the game where we ended up getting a 2-touchdown lead to beat this team. But to your point earlier, Broder, Craig Reynolds and D-Mont had 16 carries for 29 yards. That's not happening again in this home game.
You have your 1 and 2 running backs back.
Exactly, and a healthy offensive line. So that's not happening twice.
Yep, and that's the biggest key as well, is your offensive line. In the Woodward Sports chat, Jeremy Anderson said Baker can't handle the heat in the kitchen. I do think that the way the defensive line has been playing in the last 3 weeks, Aiden Hutchinson, Aleem McNeil being back, potentially James Houston coming back, we've seen Baker in his career get shook up very quick. He is kind of like that Matthew Stafford, to where even if he does get hit and hurt, he's going to come back and kind of go through that adversity. But as soon as he does hit that and gets injured, and it happens a lot, that's when, like, how many times this year has he been taken out of the game and didn't play the second half? I think it's multiple times. Like in Green Bay, I think that happened to him. There was multiple times where he had to get taken out because he's just getting beat up. Yeah. That's the biggest key. I think the trenches, winning the defensive line battle, and on the other side, the running backs and offensive line, you win this game. And maybe like how everyone's saying, a little blowout.
Yeah, that's definitely key, because in the last game they played against the Bucs, they only got 1 sack on him, and I think that was Julian Okwara that got that sack. So that's going to be the key to defeating Baker Mayfield. If you rough him up, get in his face, he starts to make bad decisions. He starts to get a little erratic. So you definitely want to do that.
The defensive line has been night and day difference, though, since like earlier in the year to now. Like night and day difference. I don't see how they don't get to Baker on Sunday.
Yeah, they weren't,
especially with the crowd behind them.
Any safety blitzes. They weren't doing any of the stuff that Aaron Glenn's used in the last 4, 5, 6 games. It's 2 new teams.
Can I make a prediction? Early week prediction. I'm
gonna hold you to it for the rest of your life.
There will be a strip sack this week, either Aiden Hutchinson or it's going to be either Aiden Hutchinson or it will be one of those safeties. It will be C.J. Gardner-Johnson or Ife Melifonwu or Brian Branch. One of those guys are going to blitz like full speed, destroy Baker. He's going to drop the ball, fumble. Whether we recover it or not, I don't know, but there will be a sack fumble.
Yeah,
that will happen. I'm in my eyes. Close my eyes. And everyone watching, close your eyes. Just envision it real quick. Just Brian Branch or Iffy coming off the edge. Just boom.
If you want to go full visualization, just think after it happens, the next week on social media, Vikings fans are going to come out of the woodwork and start talking about it as a dirty play.
Oh, my God. They're the absolute worst.
AC said strip sack for 6. I would love that, baby. Hey, I would love that. Aiden Hutchinson, Ife Melifonwu strip, Aiden Hutchinson picks it up and runs it to the end zone. Tutty. Oh, my gosh.
That'd be perfect to welcome James Houston back for his first game since, week 2 with a strip sack on Baker in the playoffs. Ford Field erupts.
Oh my God.
They light off the fireworks. Let's go.
Day Juice in here said Houston 2 sacks. That was one thing we didn't get last week. We got sacks and stuff, but one thing we didn't get was a turnover. And I kept saying it was if the Lions get a turnover, they automatically win this game. It was just a back and forth. Whoever gets that turn. If the Lions get a turnover, you just don't get the extra possession. Ford Field. Like that's when the record gets broken for the decimals. Like that's when it gets broken. It's like a pick six, Brian Branch or CJ Gardner-Johnson pick six. That would write it right away, or a Hutch pick six or something. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
KG?
Speaking of the crowd, they're going to be key too in this game because they haven't been to Ford Field yet. And I know when we went down there, it was kind of like Ford Field South. We took it over essentially.
Yep.
But it's going to be a whole different animal once they actually come here and you're in a sea of blue. It's going to be amazing. You saw what they did to Stafford in that last game. I imagine they're going to get a lot of like false start penalties in this game.
There's a lot of players left on this Bucs team that won the Super Bowl. Guess what though?
They're
going on the road. Guess who? Guess the piece they don't have on the road right now. Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. He was a good quarterback.
Oh, he was pretty decent.
He's all right.
Baker Mayfield on the road. He could get shook quick.
Yeah.
And in the playoffs at Ford Field, probably the number one place right now in the playoffs to play. The best atmosphere in the NFL right now. Baker's going to have some issues. It's like the 12th man. Like the advantage of Ford Field right now is like the 12th man the Seahawks had for those years. Like this is the biggest atmosphere in the NFL right now. Yeah. There's not one bigger than what's happening at Ford Field.
Biggest one in the playoffs for sure.
Oh, 100%. The loudest, I'm sure. Like the consistency. There's no. I'm excited for Sunday. I cannot wait. I wanted to do early kind of predictions on it. We'll save that for like tomorrow. We'll do that. When we come back though. Got a discussion. We're gonna transition a little bit into some players here. Aiden Hutchinson, there's some stats that came out with him. Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta were kind of on the rookie Gatorade Player of the Year or Pepsi Player of the Year. I've got a question to pose to all the people in the chat, and I would love to hear the answer. But let me tell you guys first about Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm, baby, they have customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions that are specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Give them a call anytime, day or night. And know that a Guardian Alarm team member, they will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people, where your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Fellas, what's the number to call? It is 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Frozen meats at the Fairway Packing Company fridge or freezer, if that's where they're freezing them. They probably aren't freezing them because they have been offering for over 60 years Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos the primest beef, the most Wagyu beef, the most dry-aged beef you could ever ask for. So just get to the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. They got grab-and-go steaks, or you can always order online at fairwaypacking.com.
All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys haven't yet, hit that like button for us. Let's get the likes up over 100 here by the end of this segment here. Real quick, before we do get into this, someone put a question. Where is it? Demetrius Hurt said, I have a question. If you answer it, do the bench Do they bench Sutton if he gets beat for 2 tutties?
0%.
They will never bench Cam Sutton. The thing with Cam Sutton, before we get into this thing here, and I wanted to address this because when I was in the heavyweights, this conversation came up. Cam Sutton is a very, very good number 2 corner. He was never supposed to be the number 1 corner. Like he's a great, great number 2 guy, and he's a good one. But he's not like the level that we do need. Like that next lot, like that's why you're gonna have to draft a corner. You're gonna have to do that. Mosley was supposed to be that guy, and you're supposed to have that little duo. Got hurt. Things happen. Guess what? You can't go out and get someone now. Got to adjust. But Cam Sutton's he's your best corner on the team right now.
Yeah.
There's no one else that's better than him.
Yeah, and
even if he gives 2 up, he's your best guy.
A few times. He got beat in that first half on Puka Nakua's 50-yard touchdown pass, but then he was a part of a massive play in the second half where it was a bit of a controversial play, but that had nothing to do with Cam Sutton and the coverage Sutton had on him. So he's a gamer, man. He came from Pittsburgh. He's tough. He loves Detroit. He's here. He could have made more money elsewhere. At the end of the day. He is a massive leader in the locker room, on the field. He does so much, and although some of his tackling doesn't get focused on when you play guys like Nick Mullins and Matthew Stafford, pocket passers, all season long when they've been playing mobile quarterbacks. Think of how many times Cam Sutton has showed up at the line of scrimmage to make a big tackle on a quarterback or on a screen to a wide receiver. No, he's been a stud. So for every missed every time he gets burned, he's done 2 plays this season to make up for it. And yet, Emmanuel Mosley was supposed to be the number 1. What Cam Sutton has done against elite receivers, he's
struggled a little bit though. He has struggled a bit, but
most cornerbacks would, and a lot of these plays, Kindle Vildor was involved too. It wasn't just Sutton. They look very similar out there.
All right, just wanted to do that. I saw him put that in there. I just wanted to address that. Want to ask this question though. I want to go over this and break this down. This is kind of what the Detroit, kind of the Brad Holmes kind of talk. Nick, if we can get a little music just in the background here, because I want to go around the room after I name these names and we can start going over this. But the question is, how many players on the Detroit Lions are top 5 in their position in the NFL?
Wow.
And this is credit to Brad Holmes, the front office, Dan Campbell, for drafting, bringing guys in. Because this list of guys, and this is shocking. When I did this topic, Nick just said on the commercial, was like, I've never even thought about it like this. Amon-Ra St. Brown, top 5 wide receiver.
Dog.
Penei Sewell, top 5 offensive lineman as a whole. Frank Ragnow, top 5 center. Sam Laporta, top 5 tight end. Jared Goff, right now, and we have the segment coming up after this, top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Jahmyr Gibbs, you can argue that stretch of football he had, next season he'll be a top 5 running back. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, he's one of the best special team guys in the NFL. Aiden Hutchinson, we're going to have this conversation
too. This is what I'm thinking about.
This is what led me to think about this, is an Aiden Hutchinson. He could potentially play himself into a top 5 edge rusher in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize that. That is 8 or 9 guys I just named off who, at what they do in the NFL, are the top 5 in the league. That's not like just top 5 in the NFC or the NFC North. In the whole NFL, fellas. Like,
you said 8?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Can you add one more to the list?
Jack Fox?
Jack Fox.
I was going to put Jack Fox, but I did Germ for special team. But Jack Fox, top 5 punter.
You could maybe we don't go down this route, but Khalif Raymond, you could be considered as a punt returner.
So but I didn't want to get that too deep into it because we don't have that much time, brother. I love the thought, but
be here till 11.
It's the thing. I'll go till midnight if we want to.
I'll go till 1.
I'll go till 2.
Man up.
Let's go 24-hour stream.
Love how Broder's always shouting out the special teams guys, giving them their props.
You got to. I love this. This is a team. It's part of what makes this line
team top 5
special.
coach in the NFL.
Hell yeah.
You just have top 5 spread out around everywhere. And if you look at other teams, like, there are teams like the 49ers who have dudes. The Ravens have dudes. The Eagles have dudes. But like this Lions team, Brad Holmes brought in some top 5 talent at every position. Into this draft, he's going to bring top 5 talent in for the defense, and it's going to keep building and building and building. The one I wanted to start with, though, here. And, KG, can we do a poll?
Yeah.
Can you just do a poll and just say something similar to where, can Aiden Hutchinson become a top 5 edge rusher in these playoffs? And that's another thing I wanted to, because we know some of these guys are already top 5, Broder. If Hutch goes out there these next 2 games next 3 games heading into the Super Bowl, and he keeps the streak going up where he does 7 sacks in 3 games. Say he gets 2 more this week and they win, and then the next week, the NFC Championship game, he gets another one, and he's sitting there with what would that be? 11 in 4 or 5 games, and then in the Super Bowl he goes and gets one, and he plays himself into that top tier edge rusher. Is that crazy to think that he could in these playoffs play himself into that after he struggled to start the year?
It's not crazy. I mean, I have 4 guarantees that are a tier above. So my only issue is, does he slide into that number 5 spot? I got, in no particular order, Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, Crosby, and Bosa.
What are all those guys doing though right now besides Bosa?
True.
They're sitting at home. And if Hutch goes out there and they end up going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl, and he goes out there and gets in this playoff run, how many does he have? He had 2 already. Say he just gets
Michael
6
Parsons.
total.
I forgot Michael
What if
Parsons.
he just gets 6 total in these playoffs and they win? Dude, 6 in 4 games or 7 in 4 games. That's elite, man. Like you're elite and you're in the playoffs. Where are the other edge rushers at? You beat Nick Bosa. I would think if they went on a run here and he goes out there and gets a sack a game or a sack and a half a game, it's time. Like, you don't even have to wait to see next year. You can already be like, hey, he's already there. Because all season long, even when he was struggling, he was top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year all year long until a certain point. And once it hit a certain point, then he dropped out. But the first 8 games, Aiden Hutchinson was top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year. Top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year.
It's a good question, Booner. I think he's, without a doubt, I don't even need to think about it, top 10. So just even saying that, to answer your question, yes, there's a chance. You know, if he continues to show his potential, reaching his potential even more this season, hey, I'll put him at number 5. He's right in that mix.
Nick, KG. Family show.
It's not a family show.
KG, Nick, what do you guys think?
Are we a family show?
Yeah, I definitely think he could play his way into a top 5 spot. Because everything is measured more in the playoffs anyway. So yeah, coming into next year, depending on how he does during this playoff run, he will definitely be considered a top 5. But he got to go crazy though.
Has to.
7 sacks in his last 3 games. That's absolutely insanity. Those are insane numbers that you just don't see every single day. So he cannot just cement himself in Lions defense history, but in NFL history, to get the Lions to where they want to go and have a massive game against Baker, have a massive game against the likes of Brock Purdy, and see what happens in the future. I mean, big career coming for Hutch.
In the stat or in the chat, G-Man State said Houston could come in and shake things up. I think Houston could come in and actually help Hutch a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we talked about all year, where he was struggling, not having that other guy on the other side to help him. And then when Aleem went down, it was still the same thing. And now you see Aleem comes back, you start blitzing safeties, and it helps Hutch out a ton. If Houston comes back, that's just another guy to get to the ball and help Hutch out. Like, I think that elevates his game a little bit more.
Yeah, more help means more sacks, more sack numbers for Hutch, and that is what goes into a lot of these rankings, and a lot of, especially outside of Detroit, where we don't see Max Crosby play every single game, but we know how good he is. So if he more help means more stats for Hutch, but he's been effective. He's been so good all season. He just hadn't been finishing his sacks. He hadn't been the one to actually finish those plays. With some of these new additions, with these safeties blitzing, that's when we started to see Hutch actually finally get to the quarterback. Once these other guys came, Hutch it started to open up for him.
Yeah.
No one can stop Hutch one-on-one.
Once,
except for Penny
the pressure joke, and the quarterback hurries and the hits, all of that, like everyone joking about that. I think it's kind of funny too, because like a lot of people, it felt like they weren't saying, "Oh, I'm off the Hutch bandwagon," but they were just like, "Yeah, like, oh, it's cute. He can get those pressures. How about those pressures? How about that? He's not getting the sacks." AG said it perfectly too at one point this year. He said, "I don't really care about the sacks. Him affecting the game that way. People can say it doesn't matter all they want, and you can sit up here on the desk and say it doesn't matter all you want. It does affect the game. At some point, they will translate to sacks." Once you start to build the real defense and Brad starts bringing new guys in and that defensive line gets bolstered up, the secondary starts to lock in and receivers aren't open and the quarterbacks are having to take more time in the backfield next year, Aiden Hutchinson's going to turn him leading the league into pressures into leading the league in sacks. And it's going to happen very quick, because once you get a good secondary and receivers aren't open, Quarterbacks aren't going to be able to just get the ball out when Hutch is putting that pressure on. Hutch is going to be there, and they're going to have nowhere to throw the ball. So eventually, that's what those leading the league in pressures. It's going to turn into 20 sacks one year. It's going to turn into 18 sacks. It will happen. It's a matter of time.
Definitely, and I want to switch to the offensive side of the ball for 1 second because two of the guys on your list, Booner, was St. Brown and Penei Sewell. And if you look at WAR for players drafted in the 2021 draft class, it's basically the wins above replacement, the weighted career approximate value. It is number 2 and number 3 behind Micah Parsons. They have the second and the third best players in the draft approximate value, and that's just insane to see from Brad Holmes. You get the number 2 and 3 guy in one draft class. It's absolutely insane. Shout out Brad Holmes for that.
Wow.
Key reason why this offense is where it's at number top 5.
Remind me again, what round was Amon-Ra St. Brown drafted in?
The 4th.
So from that draft class, there was 2 guys, correct, in the top 5 at their position?
Yeah.
2 guys, right?
Oh, for the Lions?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're talking about top 5 in that position. This year, guess what? This last draft. 2 guys that are going to be top 5 at their position this year.
Laporta and Gibbs. Love that.
So you're seeing 2 out of the 3 years that Brad Holmes has made in his drafts, he's drafted two guys in each draft that will be top 5 in their position.
Absolutely
full
insane.
NFL.
And there's a very real future that also includes Jack Campbell and Brian Branch. Next year, possibly.
Like Brian Branch could potentially. We have to go to break, but real quick, I want to this is off topic. Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone, and I said this during the game, during the watch stream. I looked at Spenny and said, I want Alex Anzalone to be here for a few more years. I love Alex Anzalone. Jack Campbell would be better than Alex Anzalone within the next year.
Can you imagine Alex Anzalone as your number 2?
At this level, he's your number 1 right now, and you're on making playoff runs. When he's your number 2 and Jack Campbell jumps him, this defense is going to elevate, and it's going to happen too. Jack Campbell is like that.
They bring out the best in each other. Derek Barnes is getting better. Like, there are going to be decisions Brad Holmes needs to make, and this we'll see
it's a good
the
thing to
trademark
have,
and whatnot. Booner, tell them.
All right, let me tell you guys, Planet Fitness. When we do come back, we're going to talk to Jared Goff, though. We're going to talk about the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFC. We're going to break some things down. The next segment is a Broder segment. This is for Broder.
Let me guess. We're talking about Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, baby!
And me speaking honestly about Goff has turned me into what? A Goff slappy. Okay.
Well, no, don't use that word ever again on our show. Planet Fitness, though, home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience squeaky clean gyms that has tons of equipment, full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships, they include fitness training. Make sure you guys check it out no matter where you are. There's a Planet Fitness close by. There are 50 of them, or more than 50 in the Metro Detroit area, and there are thousands throughout the world. It is Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. That means going to Premier Pet Supply, Michigan's best pet store. They've been owned and operated locally here in Michigan for over 30 years. They got convenience that rivals the big box and online retailers. They have over 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. It doesn't get much better than that. Check them out, premierpetsupply.com.
All right, we are back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate all of you guys right now, everyone watching. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure if you're new to the show, welcome. We appreciate you. Tell someone about the show. Let's grow this thing. We are here every day, weekday, 8 to 10 p.m. Hit that like button as well. Let's get the likes up over 150. Let's get into this conversation, though, Broder. Jared Goff.
If you haven't liked the stream, what the hell are you doing?
Thank you, Jeff I. Freddie Hollywood. Let's talk this Jared Goff conversation, because you did text me today when we were talking about segments and different things we want to talk about, and you brought up a good point. The top quarterbacks in the NFC right now.
Left in the playoffs.
I don't even think left in the playoffs.
But that was the phrase. Just so
it was, but no,
people like to mix around words. I just want to make sure what I said.
I'm going to back you here. We're not doing left in the playoffs. We're doing top 5 quarterbacks in the NFC right now. And if I'm going to be honest, we can do this right now. And KG, you can go solo, Cam, if you want, real quick. When I talk about what is a quarterback great at? What do you want in your quarterback? What is it? I want my quarterback to win football games and lead me to a Super Bowl and take me somewhere where this team hasn't been yet. If we're talking top 5 quarterbacks in the NFC right now, if I was starting to look at different quarterbacks, who would I replace Jared Goff with? Dak Prescott? Nope. Jalen Hurts right now? Nope. Are those the top? Brock Purdy? Nope. Who else am I missing here? Jordan Love? Nope. Stafford? Nope. I want a guy who can win and who has he might need a system around him. He might need players around him. He might need an OC. But guess what? When you have the right pieces around him, he will win you football games and he will do what you think, like what you need him to do. And guess what? Jared Goff right now is the best quarterback in the NFC.
Yeah.
He is the best quarterback in the NFC right now. There is no other argument, no question, nothing you can say about it. Jared Goff is the number 1 quarterback in the NFC over Brock Purdy, over Jalen Hurts, over Dak Prescott, over Jordan Love, over Matthew Stafford. He is the best in the NFC right now. We have the best quarterback on our football team in the NFC, in our conference. And when you talk about winning Super Bowls and all that, what are the conversations when we talk about
best
signing?
Best quarterbacks ever.
I'm going to say when we talk about signing and the whole contract stuff and all of that, everyone's like, oh, well, you can get guys better than him. I'm going to go Neil Rule. Who? Is Hendon Hooker, just like Neil says, and I know this is like a touchy subject for a lot of people. Hendon Hooker's not going to come in and he's not guaranteed 100% to be second in the NFL in passing yards. He's not guaranteed to go win you a division. Matthew Stafford was here for 12 years, and guess what? He couldn't do it. He couldn't go win a playoff game. And you think a rookie, Hendon Hooker, is just going to get out of nowhere off an ACL and just be like, gotcha, here we go, let's go win one. No. You have a quarterback who has proven to be able to win in the position that he's in right now in Detroit. That is your guy going forward. If you want to win football games, you have him. And that's just plain and simple. I don't get how some people can't cross their mind there. Maybe they don't want to pay him that much money. I don't care. If you can win games, I'm willing to find a way to pay you.
But Hooker can make things happen when plays break down, Booner.
I just want to win football games. I do not care.
Thank you.
Now, if Hooker turns into a Josh Allen or a Patrick Mahomes or a Trevor Lawrence or Joe Burrow, thank you. That is awesome. I trust Brad Holmes next year or the year after to where if he turns into that he makes that change and knows what he's doing. Has Brad Holmes, we just did a whole segment on Brad Holmes. Has he ever done something bad like that? He hasn't. I trust him. If he thinks that he can turn into one of those elite guys, I am all for it. But right now, for the next 2, 3, 4 years, I want to go win Super Bowls. I want a quarterback that's proven to win, Broder. That's plain and simple. That is end of story to me.
Yeah.
That's it.
You sold me.
Quarterback stats and the stats that you hang banners, winning.
Yeah.
It's wins.
Yeah. We don't look back and pick apart Tom Brady's each season and interceptions and completions, and we now look at Super Bowl rings.
Yep.
And that's how we separate the greatest quarterbacks of all, and that's what Patrick Holmes is trying to chase. Tom Brady wins, Super Bowl wins, and that's the goal here with Goff, and he's getting us closer than Detroit has ever been.
And in this comment here in the Woodward Sports chat, Broder, I don't know if this is your burner. I don't know. It's Matt B though. And he said,
great dog.
We have the best O-line, multiple All-Pro and Pro Bowl targets. Listen, anyone who says Jared Goff needs to stay here, we all understand that he has everything around him. Everyone understands that. No one's denying that. He has great weapons. He has the best offensive line in the NFL, and he has the best running back duo in the NFL, and he has the best OC in the NFL. We get that. If you keep that there with him and you keep putting stuff around him as Brad has done, guess what? You just keep on winning and winning. When you win a Super Bowl, they don't just say, oh, well, you know what? You won that Lombardi trophy, but guess what? You had the best O-line. Doesn't count. No, you had the best O-line and won a Lombardi trophy. They're not going to take that and use that against you. Oh, you had some great weapons. Doesn't count. No, you won.
not many quarterbacks in this league still can go 21 of 21 without any pressure on them. They are the best O-line, but the quarterback still has to get him the ball. The quarterback of this Lions team has spread it around to 4 different players on offense who've gotten over 850 scrimmage yards and 10 touchdowns.
Yep.
That doesn't just happen. Like a mid quarterback doesn't just stumble upon a year like that.
And the reason, too, John Hughes said, can we move on from this conversation? It's a good conversation because Joey Harrington went on the heavyweights earlier. And what he came on the heavyweights to do, he wanted to kind of talk about Jared Goff. And there was that conversation earlier in the year, and CJ Gardner-Johnson kind of commented on it, and some people said that Jared Goff was a game manager. Joey came on. I don't have this quote in the video. This video has another quote. But one of the quotes that he did say, and he did talk about, it's not a bad thing to be a game manager in the NFL.
No.
Like, your job as a quarterback, like, your number one job, you can have all the skills and everything you have. Your number one job is to manage the football game and win the game. Some of the best quarterbacks, Tom Brady, game manager. Yes, he made great plays, he knew it, but he managed the game to figure out a way to win the game every single day. Some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time were game managers who could do that at the highest of the levels. Jared Goff can do it at the highest of levels. Joey Harrington even said the way he manages a game is unlike any other. Like, he does it at a high level. Some guys in the court in the NFL can't do. But here's Joey Harrington today on the heavies. He broke down kind of what Jared Goff, 1, means to Detroit, and 2, how great he's been at just winning football games here in Detroit.
And I just want you to break down Jared Goff's performance. Obviously, all of this on the line with him. We know the history of the Lions in the playoffs, going against his former team, the one that kind of casted him aside, and then going out there and having 82% completion percentage, putting the ball all around the field, making things happen. What did you see from the Lions quarterback?
Well, I'm not going to say I told you so, but can I say I told you so?
You can say.
I mean, is that a fair statement? Because when we talked at the beginning of the season, or I guess this was during the off season, you asked me, like, you know, when do we need to get rid of Goff, or how can we move on for him, and then, you know, he's not going to be the guy to take us. I mean, it was just kind of a stopgap. And I said, look, this guy threw for 4,000 yards. Who, you know, he was everything you could have hoped for from a quarterback in the playoffs. I mean, it was. This is the thing I've thought about since you know, watching some of the games this week. Sure, you're going to have. You've got Patrick Mahomes. You've got Tom Brady, right? Those guys have done it so often and are so revered. Like, people think that's the only way to do it, right? Unless you've got a Patrick Mahomes or unless you've got Tom Brady, well, you just got no chance to win a Super Bowl. But the reality is, you can win a Super Bowl with 10 to 12 quarterbacks. You just have to be able to put the right team around you, right? Look at Joe Flacco. Flacco's won a Super Bowl. Look at Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, I know he didn't win a Super Bowl, but had a 28-point lead in the Super Bowl.
Won MVP.
That should have turned into a win. Yeah. Exactly. You know, and those aren't guys where you say, oh my God, they're just these dominant, you know, they're not Tom Brady. But you can win with those guys. And what Detroit has done and what Jared Goff has done is play to their strength.
All right, you guys heard it there. Joey Harrington. And I know a lot of people, it's Joey Harrington, didn't win a bunch, but he's a guy that's been in the league. Like, just to hear it, kind of a guy that's been around, and if you're being honest, not winning teams, so he kind of has seen, like, hey, this is, you know, he's had examples, and he's been around the league at the end of the day. The one thing I took from that, I don't know what you guys took, but the biggest thing is you can win in this league with 10 to 12 quarterbacks if you put the right pieces around them. We have one of the best GMs in the league, one of the best head coaches in the league that know how to put the right pieces around him. That's what Jared Goff is.
And he's a top 10 to 12 quarterback.
Easily.
Like, that can't be argued.
And if you put the right things around him, his stats and everything, the wins, puts him into a top 5 category.
And if you want to flip it around the other way, this is how they want to build the team anyway. They want to build through the trenches with big, strong, dominant offensive line, a Dan Campbell-like offensive line, and a defensive line, too, that they're developing. And I guarantee they're going to add pieces this offseason there. So with that mentality, Jared Goff is almost the perfect quarterback in this system. Am I off base saying that?
No.
So that's a perfect fit for that scenario. Not just we have Goff, so we're going to build this offensive line because of him. That's how they want to play anyway. So might as well have Goff, one of the top quarterbacks, if not the best, without being pressured. He's accurate. He makes smart decisions. He moves the ball down the field. And what has he done in Detroit? He's won.
That's
all I care about. Let's go.
Line. What are you guys in the booth? Are you guys kind of on the same page with that, or
I'll let Nick go?
He's an absolute winner. I mean, that's what Jared Goff has done his whole entire career, besides his rookie year when he goes 0 for 7 on the Rams on a horrible roster, and then his first season in Detroit when he went 3-10 on a horrible roster. You give this guy time to build, and he's gonna lead you to success, and that's what he's done in a Detroit Lions uniform. We're now 13-5 on the season, 12-5 in the regular season, and won the first division in 32 years. Let's go. Like, what else do you want from your quarterback but to win these kinds of games that we are now playing and winning? So absolutely love this guy. I think he's a top 5 in the NFC, no doubt about it.
Number 1
top
in the
3,
NFC.
Yeah.
Number 1 in the NFC.
Much like
I'd rather have him than the other guys. KG, my bad.
No, you good. Much like you said, Broder, like situations do matter. And then he came here with very limited weapons the first year, but we built upon that. And I've been saying it, like, the reason he didn't work out in LA is because McVay was trying to fit him into his system. Ben Johnson tailored the system to Jared Goff.
Yep.
And that's the biggest difference. And that's why you saw the improved play from Goff. He went, looked at his college tape, looked at some of his pro tape, and built an offense perfectly suited to Jared Goff's needs.
Yeah.
And you've seen him flourishing ever since. So yeah, absolutely you can win. We've seen Trent Dilfer win the damn Super Bowl. I mean, come on now. You can absolutely win with a game managing quarterback, but we just so happen to have an above average one.
And
so.
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles.
Right? Come on now.
Do you know one thing too? I know we have to go to break here. One thing I want to mention here, it just kind of popped in my head, is I know the Ben Johnson thing, him leaving, is like the question, like, can he still do it? This is something we all do have to understand, and I just thought of this. When Ben Johnson leaves, there's going to be someone in the building who's already been working with Ben Johnson, who's been working with Dan Campbell and Jared Goff, whether it's Tanner or if it's Scotty, whoever it is. There's going to be someone there that's been working this whole year prepared because they know, Dan knew last year that he was going to be gone after this season. With that as well, guess what else comes back? Your whole offensive line, all of your weapons, your running backs. You have the same offense, and you're going to add free agents and pieces in the draft. Like, you don't think that these guys, like Ben Johnson, yes, the play calling is going to go. You have the same core guys for the next few years that all know how, 1, to play with each other, 2, they know each other's tendencies, and 3, they've all won together. That doesn't just leave. So that's that in the building, and Dan Campbell he does a really good job by keeping those things in-house, and you're not going to see a situation if there's an OC change like the Eagles right now. Like the culture that Dan's built and the players that they have, and you could say, oh, well, the Eagles have players too. You're not going to see like a culture collapse like the Eagles offense has had this year. That won't happen. That's not something to worry about. Let's go to break, though. We are over a little bit here on the break. When we do come back. Eagle over cover 4. Okay. When we come back, want to talk about this, what we were just talking about, guys coming in. Is the Detroit Lions and is Detroit the number 1 destination for free agents this summer? We're talking about that when we come back, though. Let me tell you guys about Hamlin Pub. Have you ever wanted a bar where you are a regular? We have just the place for you. Head over to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on Thursdays or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games, Hamlin Pub, it is the place to be. Those wings right there, had them a couple weeks ago. Best in the state of Michigan. Go check them out and visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
We're back, and so is Swiss Insurance. It's the perfect time of year to shop for your home and auto insurance. Football here in Michigan is outrageously hot. So go ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance, SwissINS.com. Shop it like a pro. They're the ones you want to talk to if you need home or auto insurance. So give them a call, 248-800-4177.
4177, baby. Welcome back.
You can't do 7 on one hand. I didn't realize that.
I thought you were doing sign language or something.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Hit that like button if you guys haven't already. Everyone hit it.
Smack it.
KG, do you know where we're at on likes there?
We are at 128.
Let's get to 150 here by the end of this segment.
Let's go.
Everyone right now, stop what you're doing. Hit that like button. We should be over 300 by the end of the show. There's 300 people watching. Nick, you're lucky the camera wasn't on you when you were doing that.
I know. I was just making fun of Broder.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you're lucky the camera wasn't on you. All right, let's get into this. I did kind of tease it a little bit before we went to break about kind of Detroit Lions and Detroit being a new destination for free agents. I didn't just say that. As I went into the break, I thought, Broder, I was like, we are in the playoffs. It's probably not a conversation to have now. But there have been some people tweeting out and some quotes that I saw today about the city of Detroit from players that makes me think that this Lions organization is going to boop right up to the top when it comes to players signing, free agents coming to Detroit. The first one we have here, David Montgomery.
I love that this happened.
This is awesome.
This was a couple hours ago. This morning, I just got the itch. I tweeted out how underrated is David Montgomery, and there's been a pretty good response, or a really good positive response. And then a couple hours later, he says this. That was music to my ears. That just melted my heart.
This isn't just like, it's not just him. I want to read this quote too from the Lions flagship station this morning. Jared Goff was on there, and this is the quote that he had. He said, "If you want to play for a real, genuine dude who cares a whole hell of a lot about his players, come over here. It's been a fun place to play. He keeps it fun, keeps it light, but also keeps us extremely accountable." That was Jared Goff on Dan Campbell and playing for Dan Campbell. I'm telling you what, guys, it's crazy because I'm sure if like we went back 10 years and all these different regimes and we were like to go back in time and to travel, whatever, the DeLorean, and and I said, hey, KG, and it's like a 13-year-old KG. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you what, Detroit's going to be on a Super Bowl run. They're going to win the division. They're going to win multiple playoff games. There's this guy named Dan Campbell, and he's going to change the whole culture of the city.
The tight end?
The tight end, Dan Campbell. Do you know that guy that's playing for the Cowboys right now?
Wow.
That guy, and he's going to come in, and guess what? The Detroit Lions is going to become the #1 destination for free agents in the offseason.
Why are you lying to me, bro?
No one would believe it. Everybody would be like, well, you're kidding.
Get out of my room.
That right there, though, fellas, that quote from Jared Goff, seeing D-Mont do that, Jared Goff's fiance put something up on her Instagram and say that how much they love Detroit as well. Like, things have changed here a lot in the last. And when you win, when you change the culture, and when you start winning, things change, man. Things change.
Yeah, Corey Berry provided a nice little reminder. ESPN's Bill Barnwell said preseason, David Montgomery was a downgrade from Jamal Williams. And on the topic of coming to Detroit,
what a joke.
If you guys remember,
I won't do it. I won't do it.
Just do it. I'm about to get petty for a second.
I think someone in my seat
was
here.
Was it that Bears fan?
On the morning show, Flannel, I love you so much if you're listening. I think he said Jamal Williams was better than David Montgomery as well. I love you, Flannel.
We all have bad takes here and there.
When I hear that, that's the first thing. Because I remember the specific show. I remember the tape. I remember it all. And it just like my brain was just blowing up.
That was a bad one. Jamison Williams blocking is important, and Cam Sutton does not stink. Also, Micah Parsons, remember in February of 2023, last year, Amon-Ra St. Brown, when Jalen Ramsey was talking about getting released from the Rams, he made a little plea to Jalen Ramsey, like, hey, you played with Goff, like, come hang out with us in Detroit.
I remember this.
Micah Parsons decides to quote tweet over the top of that. He says, I'm sorry, no one going from LA to Detroit with laughs.
What the fuck? Now I want to put a poll, and if this poll is not 100% to 0, I don't know what's going to happen. Right now, if you were an NFL free agent, what city would you rather go to, Dallas or Detroit?
Throw in both LAs if you want to as well right now.
Then you go ahead and do that. But I just want those two because I want to show Micah Parsons.
I like this.
I want to show Micah
too.
Parsons, and I know we're a Detroit show. A lot of people, it better be 100% to 0 because Micah Parsons. Guess what? What you guys have been doing, and I know we just won the first division in 30 years and first playoff game. So when was the last? Did the Cowboys win a playoff game last year? When was the last? I don't even know the last time they did. But they're America's team. They're a team that has had everything already. What are we talking about, Micah Parsons? Guess what? You made that comment last offseason. 12 months later, who would want to go to Dallas? Who wants to go play at the Dallas Cowboys now? You guys are way farther down on the list when it comes to free agent destinations than Detroit. Detroit's at the top. Dallas is at the bottom now. That's dead serious.
Every playoff game now is a recruiting visit too. Like we talked about Michigan in the national championship, we get to see Michael Jordan and Derek Jeter up in the stands. But now with all the publicity that Ford Field is getting, everything surrounding the Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford game, all the chants for Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, week 18 trying to get Josh Reynolds his incentives, his bonuses by just feeding him the rock because they know he's a gritty player who does the dirty work. They want that all factors in. So every playoff game now is a recruiting visit. I was just about to say.
Oh my gosh, this poll is
7%.
7% Dallas. This is going to make me mad.
It might be Micah Parsons because he is home right now. He's on his couch.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So
I mean, it might just be the whole
7%.
Might be the whole Dallas Cowboys team. Right?
Yes, it might be
They're
Brad
texting
Allen.
each other. Hey guys, we need to go win this poll right now.
It might be Brad Allen too.
Yeah. I mean,
by the way, you guys know Brad Allen. They never got demoted for the playoffs. Remember that story that happened?
Did they play?
It just got washed over. I don't know what game but
they played it.
There was nothing official. I don't believe.
Wow.
Well, I don't have any official.
I haven't seen their
get to
name
that,
pop
but
up in the playoffs.
The key is people want to come to Detroit. Sorry?
Yeah, besides them, they don't want to come to Detroit. There's no way in hell that they ref a game at Ford Field on Sunday.
0% chance. Otherwise, that will be the loudest.
Budget Jim,
Ford Field will ever be.
He said, I voted Dallas, better climate. Listen, I would rather be in negative 30-degree climate than go play for the Dallas Cowboys right now.
Does it really matter when you play in a dome?
It does,
really
yeah. If you're
matter.
in the dome, you're in Jerry's World, man. Go to Jerry's World. Go have fun. It's Jerry's World.
Also,
go have fun in Jerry's World.
Also, I don't have
Losers.
any final numbers, but there were some. I don't know if there were polls or people were tweeting out before the game, like Lions. Actually, maybe Neil Rule did on Facebook or something. Like Lions fans, if this game was outside and you had to watch this, like in comparison to the Buffalo Bills game, like you guys would all want to go, right? Or however it was phrased. But so many people were like, without even questioning, the first playoff game in Lions history, I'm going outside. And it was so cold.
Oh,
they don't care. This
would have
is
still been
Detroit.
packed.
There's something special about the city of Detroit supporting their football team. And I know historically, and there's more to it, but when you think of the blue collar workers, the guys at the automobile plants working on the assembly line, they work all day, all week. The one thing they get to get excited about on the weekend, their day off with all their friends that they work with, is a Lions game. On Sunday, the entire city tunes into the Lions game. Then they get right back to work on Monday. So seeing a team, and I love seeing the clips of the older guys in the stands. I forget his name, but he's the 88-year-old with season tickets forever.
Benji.
This means so much.
Shout out Benji.
And this team fits the city perfectly.
It does.
It's not something I can really speak, like I'm not old enough and I don't live in Detroit, but I hear the stories and I hear family members who grew up down there, and it means so much to them having a team like this and Dan Campbell lead them. A gritty team in Detroit is everything we could ever ask for.
It's way better than a losing franchise in the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, and they're good.
100%.
Way better than a losing franchise in Dallas. I want to say this too before we end this segment. Think about this, guys. Can we all agree Brad Holmes is one of the best in the league?
Yeah.
Can we all agree that he's going to, he brought in some good free agents with C.J. Garner-Johnson, David
Sutton.
Montgomery, Cam Sutton.
Graham Glasgow.
So he's done a good job in free agency, right? He's one of the best in the league at what he does. Think about how easy it's going to get for him now that they're winning and that players are coming out saying this culture and what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Like last year, it's like, okay, yeah, you started 1-6, finished 9-8, didn't make the playoffs. Like you still have to pitch. Like you have to sell the culture. You have to be like, hey, no, like we're serious. We're turning things around. Like you have to do a little more pitching. This year, guys like CJ and Jared Goff and David Montgomery, who have came from other places to Detroit and who are very vocal about what it's like playing for Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and being here in the cult, and you're actually winning football games now. Brad's going to have. He's going to be able to get a lot of guys. And it's not just normal. Like, he's going to be able to get high-level guys who are willing to take some pay cuts and who are willing to go short-term deals. He's going to get some dudes. KG?
Yeah, and I think the big key is they treat our own well. You know, I think that goes a long way.
Yeah.
We've kept a lot of our same guys. I remember after that first year, a lot of people was like, they're keeping a lot of the same players. That was like a big topic of discussion. Like, they're running it back. Like, why would they do that? We were 3-13. But you see how it panned out. And I think that goes a long way towards like this culture thing. Also, I told you that the division and the playoff win were like, there was a package deal.
Yep.
You needed tangible results to be able to show free agents like, okay, it isn't just talk about the culture. Like, they're actually winning games now. So us not only, up in our win total from that year two, us winning the playoff game and stuff like that, it's definitely going to make free agents want to come here now.
And the players, if there's one thing players trust the most, is other players, and them advocating
Especially
means more than anything that we could ever
guys,
say.
like
Right.
CJ Gardner-Johnson. He's a guy around the league that people like. Jared Goff, people respect these guys.
Yeah.
And it's
Cam Sutton.
Yeah, going to completely go a long way with re-signing our own players, too, because they've embraced this city. They've done everything the right way. In the past, superstars like Ndamukong Suh have walked, and that's never going to happen with this regime. I guarantee they're able to keep all the top guys that they want to.
It's the culture, man.
And I know, it just speaks to it.
Guys will get paid, and the culture is there. Brad will pay. When you draft guys, like Brad Holmes drafting guys, he's going to pay the guys he drafted. And those guys, like we said earlier in the show, they're top 5 at their position. And when you have, I'm excited to see the next couple draft class because I think like he's going to bring some more guys. This team's going to just keep growing, man. Broder, though, we're going to go to break. When we come back, I have a couple questions for all of you people watching right now. This is kind of a playoff edition, some questions. I have some Booner questions for specific teams around the playoffs. It's going to put your mind in a pretzel a little bit. Broder, tell us though about
the former player coaches that Answer 14 just reminded.
Yes,
that is part of the recruiting too.
They've done a great job.
But it's also guys like Kelvin Johnson who support cannabis and professional athletes in the use for so many different reasons. But Dispo has everything you can need, whether it's recreational, medical, anything you want to start the year lifted. They got fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products and a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere. So check them out. Check out their stores, their cannabis mall, or order on Dispo Dash today. New year, new deals, but the same plug. That's Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. They have 18 locations, so there must be a Feldman Automotive dealership in your backyard. Just visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Also, check out the Morning Wood Show and Big D Energy at their Novi dealership every other Monday. It's part of what makes Feldman Chevrolet Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
think you meant Morning Woodward.
Morning Wood Show, baby.
Word
Let's go. Hey, welcome
Show.
back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're at 160 likes now. Let's get them up a little bit. Let's get up to 200 here by the end of the show.
From 6 to midnight. Get the likes up.
Yeah, I was confused. The music just
If you haven't
stopped.
liked the stream, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, it dropped. By the way, I forgot to mention.
I was shook for a second. I was like, why's the music stop?
I totally forgot to mention, and Corey Berry reminded me. The Lions PR, talk about this, the entire organization. The Lions PR team, who I work closely with, that's how I communicate for my role here at WSN. They won the Pete Rozelle Award for top PR team in the NFL for last year, ahead of this year. But it proves they are the best this year, one of the best PR teams in the entire NFL. All of that goes into this. All the access we get from Dan Campbell, it's special. It's a special place. What are you laughing at?
That was just funny.
Yeah, goon.
Just another top 5 unit on the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
My guy Broder, we're like Jared Goff, D-Mine. He's
special
like,
teams,
special
PR,
teams, PR.
Yup.
How about the Detroit Lions wives, man? They're top 5 in the NFL.
They
too.
are. Kristen Harper showing love. Fiance Kristen Harper.
For sure. I just funny like you like the granular stuff
because it all plays into it. It all plays into it. The medical team that fixed Sam Laporta's leg. Come on.
All right.
1 week turnaround.
Yeah, come on.
Let's do around the NFL here. We've got some questions. I want people in the chat as well. If you guys are locked in here, I want you guys to answer these questions as well. I have this is kind of a playoff edition. First one I want to do here. This is two players in one. This is 2 teams. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, 2 guys who have been known in the playoffs to not be able to get over that hump to go win. Josh Allen's won some playoff games. He just has never been able to get to the Super Bowl.
He can't beat Mahomes. We know that.
It's just that hump that he just can't do it. Lamar Jackson, he's great in the regular season, barely loses in the regular season, wins MVPs. Is going to be. Can these 2 guys get over that hump this year? Well, one of those, and I think that it's going to end up being an AFC championship of those 2. And one of them are going to have a chance to do it. That's where I'm in my brain. I think it ends up happening. So one of them has to do it. I'm going to go with my guy, Josh Allen. I called him to win MVP this year. I said he's going to go win a Super Bowl this year. I think the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl now. I've switched that change. I think it's going to be Bills, Lions win it. I think Josh Allen gets over that hump this year. The way he played last night, the way he's been playing, scary. What do you guys think around the room here?
And so we're talking to win the Super Bowl. Like, do they?
Who gets over the hump and gets the job done? Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
I personally think it'll be
Super Bowl.
Lamar. Josh Allen, he just can't get past Mahomes. We'll see what happens.
It's huge
this weekend, but I got to go with Lamar, man. And I really want him to get over the hump. That way he can kind of get that criticism off his back. But yeah, we'll see. But what you think, Nick?
Yeah, they look elite. They took care of business against San Fran. I'm going to lean Lamar here, even though I did not say earlier that it's like an automatic path to the bowl. But I just think that whole entire team, including that defense, is elite. I'm going Lamar here.
Yeah, I think I'm going Lamar too. And it's not because Josh Allen hasn't. He turned things around so much.
Went against your guy.
What? The fact that they've now figured out how to use their run game, their defense is playing a lot better. That gives me a little more faith in the Bills. Now Josh Allen's just got to go out and prove it and not turn the ball over in a big game. But I'm going with Lamar for the same reason that I think John Harbaugh should be getting more love for Coach of the Year award. They made a conscious effort at the beginning of the season to stick him in the pocket, work through some issues, some timing issues, drops issues with their wide receivers, but to do it to try to extend his career, but also try to maximize what he can do with this team. And it's improved so much over the year. He tore up the Lions through the air. Like that was kind of his coming out party. And to do that, it was after 2 games in London. They had 3 games in 17 days. I thought that was a perfect time to catch the Ravens, and Lamar showed up like an MVP. I think having that in his arsenal is something he didn't have years ago when he was trying to compete. Now, how do you stop that guy?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's a tough question. Like both of those guys are the best in the league. Lamar's about to win another MVP, which is awesome. Like it's just that hump in the playoffs, and it's the same with Josh Allen. It's like, when are you going to get over and get to the Super Bowl? That's what I want to. I think one of those 2 guys will be in the Super Bowl this year. Next question I have here.
Yeah.
Houston Texans, C.J. Stroud.
Wow, he's good.
This isn't a this year question, but this is a future question. And I want everyone in the chat to drop your answer to this as well. Will C.J. Stroud lead the Houston Texans to a Super Bowl? Not this year.
Anytime?
At some point in his career. Will he win a Super Bowl in Houston?
Yes.
You can't say not. You got to say yes, right?
Yeah. I say yes, only because I trust D'Amico Ryans as a coach. And if the ownership stays the hell out the way, then they'll be okay. They drafted really well this past year, going to get Will Anderson and C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud is exuding, like, poise we've never seen out of an NFL rookie. Like, it's crazy, man. That kid does not get rattled. The way he throws the ball is just beautiful, man. He has a beautiful deep
I wouldn't
ball.
be shocked, too, if just this year he goes, or this week he goes and beats the Ravens.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't
shocked.
be a complete shot.
Like, the way that Lamar's been in the playoffs and the way C.J. Stroud's been playing this year, just that man can throw. He throws the ball on a dot, and he's got receivers that helps him, and he's doing it with no Tank Dell as well.
Yeah, but that was my key. Like, they already got pieces, kind of already young pieces there, so I can see them definitely within maybe a 5-year span getting to a Super Bowl. I don't know about winning one, but
I think they win
can see
one.
it.
I made that question because I think they do somehow win one in the next couple of years. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they could. I mean, you think about the defense just in general. Will Anderson, Derek Stingley, a couple top 5 picks in their own right there. And then you have C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins. It's been the best surprise in the NFL this whole entire season. You got the Buckeye to the Wolverine. It's just, it's crazy to see. And I got no bad animosity against Stroud because Michigan always beat him. So I don't mind rooting for a Buckeye here. He's been so much fun to watch this entire season. He took care of my buddy's Browns the other week, 14-45, and watch out Lamar. He's not coming into Baltimore scared, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, and we're talking about the quarterback and the offense, but what KG alluded to, D'Amico Ryans and his defensive mindedness as a head coach, they're gonna be an elite defensive team at some point in the next couple of years.
Oh yeah,
they played better throughout this entire season. They have a ton of cap space going into this offseason, and what is the differentiator for me? When they made a ballsy move going up and getting C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, mortgaging a little bit of their future, but they did it. They had conviction to go get their guys. And it's Will Anderson hasn't been a superstar yet, but
he's been good.
He's been good. Mm-hmm. They hit on C.J. Stroud, and that's a piece to really catapult an organization that was in shambles.
Yeah,
they were in shambles.
It looked like it was going to take him a while to get out of that hole.
Like this blows me away how quickly they turned it around.
That whole Deshaun Watson thing, that wasn't like a sign and trade, correct?
Yeah, dude, the haul that they got back from
that turned their franchise around. Like they
got more pieces than he got massages.
They took. Oh my gosh, man! All right.
They got like
27.
Man, I love you, bro.
Before we go to break, one more question.
You know what?
KG, can we make this one a poll because I do want to see what the percentage is on this.
I got you.
Does Jordan Love scare Detroit Lions fans going forward?
Oh,
we had this conversation off air last night after the show. All of us did. And when I was thinking about NFL questions in the playoffs,
I don't know if scared is the right word, but
scared's not a bad word. Like, it's not like it always terrifies us, but it's like, hey, this could be a problem going forward.
Yes. They hit on another quarterback.
Yep.
It didn't look like it at the beginning of the season, but he's slowly but surely gotten better. And to just watch him in these last few games, and even in this Cowboys game, which they dominated, there's so much Aaron Rodgers oozing out of him. And I didn't expect that because of the lack of relationship that they had, the type of guy that Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay Packers. But you look how he escapes the pocket, and he just has that comfortable 3/4. He's making some throws.
At the end of the day, listen, like there was a time, and you know what? And when we had this conversation off air, my point to it was, like, how do they keep doing this? What they do is they have a guy like Jordan Love who sat behind Aaron Rodgers for a couple years, and he just learned, and they were very, very patient. It's something like Hendon Hooker. If he sat behind Jared Goff for 2 or 3 years, I know Goff isn't a Aaron Rodgers or a Brett Favre, but if you just learn and you learn and you learn, especially from a guy like, think about what Zach Wilson. He was so bad a year ago. The experience he had in like a month in training camp with Aaron Rodgers, he looked a little bit different in this season. He wasn't great, but he learned a lot of different things. And Aaron Rodgers ended up leaving the facility, but the time he was there, like, you can learn a lot. And being behind Aaron Rodgers for 2 or 3 years, Jordan loves, and he already has an arm. He had the talent. He scares me a little bit.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be the Detroit Lions in control of the NFC North. And if you look at like the NFC North the last like 15 years, it was like the Green Bay Packers. But every now and then it was like the Vikings, the Bears. Like it was just like a couple of Vikings sprinkled in there a little bit. I think it's going to be the Detroit Lions the next 10 years, and I think you're going to see a sprinkle of the Packers every 3 or 4 years.
I love that little
just
sprinkle.
because of Jordan Love, and it's going to happen.
Looking dangerous for sure.
Great input, Nick. Love that.
Armed and dangerous. Ain't too many can hang with us.
Hey, let's hit break, though. Let me tell you guys about Big Boy. When we come back, we're going to talk this whole Kirby Joseph and the kneecap thing. We're going to get into this. Broder has some stuff that you kind of went in depth on it a little bit.
Y'all know he a dirty player, right?
According to the Purple People Eaters.
Yeah, according to some haters out there.
Let's just review what Vikings actually did in their history.
All right, we'll do that when we come back. Let me tell you about Big Boy, though. Wintertime in Detroit, it is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmigiano, the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. And if you want some breakfast, the stuffed potato pancakes, they are back. The classic lumberjack or the Santa Fe Garden. They also have the new apple pie hotcakes. They are too good to miss. Top it all off with the new gingerbread shake for dessert. Make sure you stop over by your local Big Boy today.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand, you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. It's the same great service to customers that have come to know and trust, located on Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile. You can also check them out in Dearborn at their flagship dealership. Check them out. Find the brand you want, LesStanford.com. Find them.
All right, we are back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys all locking in with us. Beautiful Tuesday night. Victory Tuesday for the Detroit Lions. Victory year for the Michigan Wolverines, national champions. I haven't said that in about a day or two. That is a beautiful thing to say. Beautiful. Were we gonna say something?
I was thinking of it, but I just had to pet the helmet.
All right, let's go. Hey, everyone, hit that like button right now. Let's get over 200 likes here. If everyone hits it now, let's hit the 200 likes. Want to get into this, though, Broder. This is another thing that we talked about before the show. The whole Kirby Joseph situation. And me and you actually watched the podcast. I think it was like the Green Light podcast.
Kyle and Chris Long were battling.
Yes. And it was a great conversation. And they both were on both opposite sides on whether or not the Kirby Joseph thing was a good or a bad hit. Tom Brady has mentioned it in the past. I don't know. Did you have a quote? I saw you said you put in the Woodward Nights thing here. A Tom Brady.
I threw the Tom Brady quote in there, but what I never knew that there was this narrative going around about Kirby Joseph until I stumbled upon some Vikings fans.
It started because of the TJ Hawk thing, and it got really big after that.
Right, and I noticed a comment, it would have been yesterday, January 15th, from some guy, Drew Weiner, PR. How much for someone to take out Kirby Joseph? Bounty time.
That's crazy.
And he just kept going on, and I started to communicate with him. His profile is former sports writer, something like that. But he doubled down on it. Like, I was communicating back and forth, and he was just doubling and tripling down. It says, ideally, Kirby tears an ACL this weekend in karmic fashion. It was just, it blew me away that fans were saying this about it. Like, and I do understand how it looks, but the bigger conversation here is Kirby doing what he's taught to do now in the new NFL rules, in terms of avoiding fines, in terms of avoiding head injuries for opposing wide receivers. You're taught to go low. You want to aim in the midsection or really low. And he got He got Tyler Higbee. There's a slow or a still of it, sort of right in the quad. He's trying to avoid this. Is it's just a bang play.
Dude, it's really tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, and so it's tough. Basically, why I wanted to bring this to attention, like how the CD Deuce news got out before someone was able to defend him. Kirby Joseph is not a dirty player. These are two unfortunate situations where two good tight ends got hurt. They tore their ACL. To me, unfortunately, it's a side effect of how the game is now. It's physical, it's rough, but he's doing what he can to avoid penalties, flags, fines, ejections.
Yes.
He was going to pay for that if you go. He said, "Go for the ball." Like
it's a flag.
It's a flag.
It's a flag instantly. And at that point, what happens if you give him a concussion and then or something else happens and then okay, now it's bad on that. What this comes down to, and I'm going to take your picture that you put in here, the Tom Brady one. KG, if you want to throw that the Tom Brady thing, this is what it comes down to.
And I just want you to break down Jared Goff's performance. Obviously.
Sorry about that.
What was that?
That was the Joey Harrington clip. But this is what I want to read to you guys too, because what it comes down to, it has nothing to do with, hey, should the player hit low, should the player hit high? Tom Brady said it perfectly. Before I read this real quick, I saw a video of Tom Brady saying, listen, it is on the offensive player and the offense to protect their players. It is on the quarterback to protect your guy. It is on the receiver to protect his body. The defensive player protects himself, and he's out there to make plays because you can only go low, you can't go high anymore. Tom Brady said this. He said, nobody likes seeing players get hurt, but hard hits happen. Quarterbacks should not be throwing the ball in areas where they are exposing their own teammates to these types of hits. Coaches need to coach better. Quarterbacks need to read coverages and throw the ball to the right places, and defenders should aim for the right hitting areas. To put the blame on the defensive player all the time is just flat out wrong. Need better quarterback play. It is not okay, quarterbacks, to get your wide receivers hit because of your bad choices.
I got the Cabinda tweet as well. Do you want to?
Yeah, you could throw that up too. And just to follow the Tom Brady thing too real quick, is the video I saw of Tom Brady, guys. Tom Brady came out, or I don't know if he came out or if it was an old video, but he said he purposely, when he knew he played Ray Lewis, he didn't throw the ball in the middle of the field. He said, I would rather not throw the ball in the middle of the field and protect my players, and I can keep a wide receiver for the next few weeks or for the season than throw the ball in the middle of the field. That's what it is. Jason Cabinda here. Broder, do you want to read this one?
Yeah, sure. He says, I've never seen so many fans complain about the physicality of our sports in my life the way that it is now. We used to have Sean Taylor, Brian Dawkins, Ray Lewis taking guys' heads off. They were football gods to us growing up. When did we become so soft as a society? There's beauty that lies in the ugliness of our game because it really can be a brutal sport. But that's a big part of what makes it so great. You can see the influence that the softening of society has on our game, but mostly it's got to stop. And while he's calling more taking the route of we got to stop being so soft, I just think it's important to point out, like, Kirby Joseph, he's not making that play to hurt the opposing player.
There's no intent.
Kirby's one of the kindest guys ever, but he plays physical and he plays ruthless. He's trying to avoid injuring him. It's just an unfortunate side effect of what happened. It's not something where other fan bases, other players are going to say, we got to go take Kirby out.
Just because it happened twice, people are saying he purposely. That is not it. Like, I've seen the amount of clips that I've seen of other players around the NFL tackling just like Kirby did in those two hits. I've seen over 30, 40, 50 of these clips that are circulating around Twitter right now that are the exact same hits from safeties and corners of going low, and that's what you have to. That's how you tackle, because if you go high now, then you get a penalty, and that's what it's taught. And it was Chris Long, the one that was on that pro.
It was Kyle Long that took the.
Who was the one that took the side for Kirby?
Chris.
Chris. So Chris Long is the one that he literally said, there's nothing you can do here. The NFL has put the guys in bad spots to where it's either if you hit high, you get a penalty, you get fined or ejected. And if you hit low, someone's going to get hurt. And if you it's tough to hit right in the middle. KG?
Yeah, and like if you look at both of those plays, both weren't malicious. They weren't late. He led with his shoulder both times. The TJ Hawkinson hit, I think he was trying to hurdle Kirby, and he just ended up getting caught in the legs, and that's kind of how that happened. But yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. But what do you expect a guy to do? Like you say, you can't hit him high. You try your best, to get into that central area, but the guy is moving too as the ball carrier. He's trying to shift his body, and you can only do so much in that situation. But he's definitely not a dirty player.
Yeah, and you think, just looking at it from an injury perspective, the worst that could happen when you get hit high, you could be paralyzed. You could lose control. Like, and Dad with Tourette's just said it in the chats. You could lose a leg or lose the ability to walk or feel. Like, it's an unfortunate.
You're playing the
give and
sport,
take.
man. Like it's just, things are gonna happen. We've seen it a million. Like we saw the DeMar Hamlin thing last year. Like things are gonna happen in this sport, and that's what Tom's saying. Like if we could protect, if the offensive guy can protect yourself, that's your job.
Yeah.
Protect yourself. If you like,
and my last point on it, since we're talking about reasons to come to Detroit being a destination, I've said it before. This is what Jared Goff does so well. And this is what Amon-Ra St. Brown says over and over again in the locker room when I've asked him. He keeps them out of danger. He's that accurate. His ball placement allows them to go down when there are defenders coming in. So that's part of what being a receiver or a tight end coming and looking at the Lions. That stuff they actually do look at.
All right. Appreciate that, brother. Great input there.
You, Booner.
Let's go to break. When we come back, mailbag. Everyone right now, start dropping your questions here that you need. Anything you want to ask us, especially we got Broder here. He's going to be, I think, in Allen Park tomorrow.
Yes, Dan Campbell's talking.
So
I'll be in the locker room. I think Jared Goff's speaking.
Let's go.
Any questions that you might have for him?
Throw them in there. We'll answer all the questions. But let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's. Come over to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. You can take the room here with you if you want. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime because it is wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Your Detroit Lions have won a playoff game. What more does that mean? It means another tailgate party. That's what it means. So join us for the Ultimate Lions VIP tailgate party this Sunday, hosted by Bullseye Event Group and sponsored by Long Dream. We got all-you-can-eat food, drinks, music, and excitement. So let's roar together downtown. Eastern Market, shed number 5. Bullseye is now offering a Lions ticket and tailgate ticket combo. So get to bullseyeeventgroup.com now to get your tickets today.
Bullseye, baby. Welcome back, Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, if you're new to the show, new to the program, whatever it is, hit that like button and come back tomorrow at 8 p.m. We are here every single weekday from 8 to 10 p.m., and we will bring you the energy. So make sure you guys tell a friend about the show and hit that like button right now. Let's get over 200 likes. First one here, AB1 Kenobi. Mailbag. Morning Woodward show is crazy. Or Morning Wood show. Was he saying the name of it's crazy, Morning Wood Show, or is he saying that the show's crazy?
I don't know. All the shows used to have much raunchier names at the beginning of our network.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun.
For sure.
Thanks for getting me hard, JB.
Come on.
Yeah, like a lot of
Matt
those
B
references.
said, should Branch be moved to corner?
No.
I don't think so.
He's so versatile. He's so good at blitzing. He's so good at covering tight. He's so strong. So makes him good at covering tight ends, running backs out of the backfield. I think he could definitely fill in if needed in points, but no, I'll keep him at nickel.
Also, when he got that penalty in the game, the wide receiver fell.
Yeah,
that was a pretty weak call, but obviously there were some calls all the way around in that
Brian
one.
Branch is a stud.
I love Brian Branch.
This is one.
Two bomber.
Robert Lane said, do you think this offense would be better or worse with Ben Johnson?
This one actually, Booner, this is directed at you. You need to answer it.
Why me?
Because he asked you this about an hour ago.
Missed it?
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to say with this. The first couple weeks of next season, when there's a new OC, whoever it is, there are going to be growing pains. There are going to, like, it's a new player, a new coach calling play. There's going to be growing pains. I said this. I just said this to Jeff the other day. Once whoever the new guy is starts getting going and starts getting a feel for it, Dan Campbell, like Ben Johnson does have the brain, and he's Ben Johnson. Dan Campbell did help him to start and kind of worked him in. He taught him, and he took him under his wing and said, "Here, let's do this thing." And he had the brain. If they, Tanner Engstrand has the brain, Scotty Montgomery, if they have the brain, he's gonna build this guy into the next Ben Johnson. That's what these great head coaches do now. They build the next OC, the next OC, the next. So it's going to be just fine. There will be growing pains to start the season.
Yes, and a very important piece that will likely still be here is Mark Brunell, quarterbacks coach, who's been a huge part of the development and growth of Jared Goff.
And my question to you guys on that, does it scare you what just happened to the Eagles and Sirianni?
No.
Losing both coordinators, and that's 100% a possibility. Is it because the leadership of Dan?
It is not, just like I said earlier in the show, it's not going to happen. Dan, that culture is built. It is like Sirianni does have that culture, but like it wasn't like solidified and completely the foundation completely built. Like he came into that situation, there was already some players there. There was already Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes came down, tore everything down, built it. They built their own foundation. Whoever's next, whatever it is, they have the same pieces. They're not losing any pieces, most likely.
And they gave $300 million to a quarterback that doesn't seem to have his team
Doesn't
behind
matter
him
if you
at
have
this
one
moment.
ass cheek and three
At this
toes.
moment,
I will beat
I'm
your
taking
ass.
this one real quick. Jeremy Anderson, mailbag, Detroit
Jeez.
Tigers predictions. AL Central champs this year. Let's go.
Okay,
that's
they're
my only prediction I'm going to give you.
They're going to win.
Colt Keith, rookie of the year.
It's a lot like the line. Like this is going to be another down year for the AL Central. The Tigers aren't going to be a Super Bowl contender, I don't believe. So they can go out and win their division.
World Series? You think so?
No, I'm not going that far.
Oh, that's what you were saying.
They need to make some more moves.
How about Colt Keith, rookie of the year? And then Tariq Skubal, Cy Young.
Southpaw?
Southpaw.
Southpaw Cy Young. Tariq Skubal.
We're talking crazy.
He's a stud. He's getting better. Chris Fetter, shout out, University of Michigan.
Shout out.
I think he's top 5 in odds.
They will win the division this year. If they don't,
they damn near won it last year.
Yeah, I think it's a disappointment if you don't win it this year. Personally, the young guys you have up, I think.
And it is just getting started. This rebuild is just beginning, but they can still win it.
I would love to do like a live show at night, if like a night Tigers game on a Friday night, and us do a live show during the game out there.
Awesome.
We should
up on the Pepsi porch.
Yeah, we should try and do. We should see like we should have those conversations. That'd be sick, man.
Hell yeah.
In the summertime. Oh my gosh.
In the nighttime.
Summertime.
Robert Lansing, mailbag. Cooper DeJean would be like he is a dog. I'm almost on this thing. Like I think when the draft comes around, they're like spending. When I was on the heavyweights, he said, if you have the first 4 picks, where are you taking? I said, I'm going defense, offensive line. No order, but 3 defense and offensive line. 3 defense, offensive line. I'm trading up for Kool-Aid McKinstry. I'm trading up a couple spots depending on where we're at. Brad Holmes he might end up getting 2 first-round picks. Who knows? That man cooks every year. He's going to probably have multiple second-round picks somehow, some way. I think they go defense, or offensive line, and they start to stack that defense up. Truly believe that.
It up,
he's got 2 third-rounders that he can play with in the draft. Let's not forget that. Due to that T.J. Hawkinson trade last year, 2 third-rounders. Let's move up with one of those.
Dangle that 30 to the New York Jets at number 10. Go get the guy you want. Let the Jets take J.J. McCarthy. Sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year. Helps both teams.
Getting up to 10 is crazy.
10 is crazy. I don't know if we do that.
Hey, Brad did it, going from 32 to 12 to get J-Mo.
Brad, the way Brad's traded as well as he is he's won every trade, and that's not even if you take the players out of it. When he trades, like he makes sure he gets the best picks. He is very, very smart with that. I can't wait.
And
honestly,
the Lions,
after we win the Super Bowl and you have the 32nd pick, I cannot wait for the draft after the Super Bowl. Think about winning the Super. No one's talked about this yet. Real quick. Think about winning the Super Bowl and hosting the draft.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Think about winning the Super Bowl and having the Lombardi Trophy in Campus Martius downtown for the NFL draft.
I want it.
That is 10 times better than hosting and having the number 1 pick. The Super Bowl winning team hosting the... Oh, my gosh. Didn't Kansas City just do that recently?
Did they win?
Pretty sure Kansas City won the Super Bowl, and then they hosted this last year. I think it was in Kansas.
Yeah, they had a hell of a celebration.
This is fans' chance.
This is the Booner path. I think of things like this.
Lions fans' chance to get Roger Goodell in front. Let them know we're all eligible.
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of Goodell in Detroit. Verbally, I'm eligible.
I can't wait, man.
Physically.
I cannot wait. Oh my gosh, Robert Lane, don't have that comment's crazy, man. He said, Booner, stop. I can only get so hard. Whoa, what are we doing?
Robert Lane is a Harry Mack
Paul Thomas,
connoisseur.
talk about an NFL narrative. We need Booner. I don't know what that means. Oh, that we need Booner. Comma Booner. Okay, I got you there.
So you're saying like Booner on stage
too,
at the draft, Honolulu
announcing
Blue
the
Kool-Aid.
pick.
Can we do that? The Booner Path announcing the pick. I don't even care if it's the 7th round. Just let me announce the pick somehow, some way.
You want a mind on stage together?
I'll go up there and I'll do the whole Kool-Aid chug and then announce the pick.
And what if you announce the pick and it is Kool-Aid McKinstry?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Hey, we appreciate all of you guys tuning into Woodward Nights as always. Make sure you guys come back tomorrow. We'll be back 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. every single weekday. I'm working on getting a couple Buccaneers guests. I'm working on getting a guest here for the week. Big time guest.
Jeff Olson.
Buccaneers super fan. I'm working on getting it. Shout out. So we're working on that. We'll be back tomorrow though. Morning Woodward Show 8 to 10. Big D Energy after E&E with Maz to follow heavyweights, and we'll be back at 8 p.m. We appreciate all of you guys. As you guys leave, hit that like button. When the stream's over, go leave some comments for the people, man. We love you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Toodles,
peace.
Let's go,